And so it begins. Settle in, grab a coffee, an ice water, a mint tea, a smoothie. It's early for me for a smoothie, but if that's your style, go ahead and do it because we have a great day, a long day, and an important day of Apex Legends on the horizon in front of us. My name is Rain Day, and I am joined by Girl. We are here with your PlayStation Tournament's Apex Legends Master Circuit Grand Finals, Girl. It is finally time to crown a champion.
Oh my God, I'm super excited to be here. I even played a little bit of basketball, got the adrenaline going this morning.
Where was I?
So happy. I would love to invite you sometime over one day to play some.
Let's do it.
Yeah, of course, but I'm a little bit rusty. I'm out of shape.
But you know, you're in that spirit, girl, and that's the thing. You're in the competitive spirit, right?
Yeah, in the competitive spirit, and we're going to see a lot of competition here today. We've got a lot on the line. We've got money on the line, but most importantly, we got PS5s here today on the line.
I can't believe it. The holy grail of systems, the thing I'm still trying to get. So if anyone is out there and, love some Rain Day, love some Girl, we would love some PS5s too. We'll take it. I think you have our address somewhere. But right now, we can't talk about us. Someone on the winning team is going to be getting PS5s. A whole lot of people today. Let's go into the format, though, of how this tournament is going to run because it's more important to talk about how they get there. It's trios, 20 teams, 6 games. You know the deal. No need to spend too much time on this if you're familiar with Apex. If you're not, we're basically going to do a point tally system, which means that the most points at the end of the day after these 6 games is going to be your first, second, third, and so forth all the way down until the 20th spot in the lobby. But how do you get those points? How are those points tallied up? Well, let's go ahead and show you right here.
Well, we are in a battle royale, okay? So the first place team is going to get the most amount of points, which is 12 points overall. But second place team isn't going to be that far behind with 9 points. So depending on the amount of kills for each elimination a team gets, that's going to be 1 point on top of those placement points that you're going to get for just surviving. It's a survival game. It's a battle royale. You want to make it to first place. You want to make it to the top, and this is how you do it. If you die off early, that's 0 points. So you really want to try and make it into the top 5 with at least a few kills. But you don't want to allow that first place team to wipe out half the lobby because it's going to be hard catching up just by surviving.
Yeah, you cannot let a few of these teams run riot on the rest of the lobby because if you do, they'll be sitting pretty in first place. And what will that get them today? Oh, just a cool $1,500. That is the biggest prize pool we've seen thus far. When you put it this way, this is more than half of the earnings of the entire 4 weeks of competition that we've seen in one single day. And you know that teams like ARS Baguette are coming for it. $1,200 for second place. Third and fourth get $975. But here's the kicker. I love this. 17th through 20th get $150, meaning every single qualifier who has made it this far through the grueling process of battling to be the best, they will get some money. But look at that. You see that asterisk? Each player will also receive a PS5 in first and second place. So the first and second place teams, all 6 players, will be receiving their very own PS5, girl.
Oh my goodness, that is amazing. And these are the qualified teams that have made it to get a chance on this amazing opportunity. Aim Assist Euro. They've done well in our qualifiers previously, but ARS Baguette, you got to put some light on that name because they've won every single qualifier. They're the team to beat here today, but everyone's going to take this super seriously. There is so much money on the line, and these PS5s, it might not go their way today. You don't know what these teams have in store because they've got a lot of time to put in practice, make a formation of what they want to do. Clippers, they've done really well as well. AXFF team as well. They are a team to beat. Scoobs, they've been in here for a little while now. TXC, they've also got a second place. So don't leave their name out of this. So many returning teams, and I'm super excited to see who's going to pull out of this with the money, but the PS5s.
The PS5s. You can get money anywhere. You can't get a PS5 anywhere. That's the thing. Nope. That's how rare that thing is. It's so, like, everyone is like, you have a PS5? Oh man, I'm coming over. Let me see that. My cousins have a PS5, and I'm jealous to the extent that one can be jealous. But hopefully my turn will come. I'm sure it will soon. It will be for 6 players today. And of course, if you want to check out more action, more ways you can be involved, what these players did was they went to compete.playstation.com. That means they just checked out what we had in store with PlayStation tournaments. They saw Apex Legends was starting its Master Circuit, and they signed up. And then they began this journey that is now ending with a chance at $1,500, multiple cash prizes, and PS5s on the line, plus a lot of broadcast time. That could be you. So check out compete.playstation.com and get involved. And also, maybe it's not Apex. We got a lot of other games coming up and a lot of great tournaments on the horizon for you to watch as well, if you just like being a spectator and want to know what's the haps. All right, girl, it's time. Game 1 about to begin. We have been on Storm Point this entire season, and that has played a bit of a role in some teams succeeding more than maybe they would have on a map like World's Edge.
Yeah, absolutely. World's Edge is everyone's most comfortable map, maybe their favorite as well. I know we had this upcoming earlier where it's just like, hey, I prefer World's Edge, but you know what? I'm going to dominate on Storm Point anyway.
Right.
We see a lot of Valkyries here today, and that's not anything new. We knew that was incoming, but I did spot a few Seers as well. Sarah Sutcliffe on the Valkyrie. They're doing Valkyrie Horizon. I'm not sure if they're third. What they're playing.
Well, here's the thing. I love the way that we've seen Horizon be implemented by one man in the Apex Legends scene and his squad, his Watson. They've been playing this Valkyrie Seer Horizon combo, and it has been so deadly to watch the aggressive play that is able to come forward off of the Black Hole ultimate. And the way that they are naturally just very, very confident in taking fights, when you add that coordinated Black Hole assault where the Arc Stars follow up afterwards, if somebody flanks on the outside, they're getting pulled into the middle. There's almost no counterplay that I've seen for teams to be able to deflect against it if a team is committed. So this is a lineup I'll have to be paying attention to. But as we start PPM dropping, recognizing there's some players right nearby, and the game is on. So the music will fade, and we will get into Apex here as we check a look at the map as well, girl.
Definitely tough to be in a 50-50 contest right off this drop. You definitely want to win that one, or play it safe, loot outside, and try and loot some nearby buildings. There's Stormcatcher nearby. There's a whole bunch of buildings south of them as well that both teams could survive there safely if they don't choose to take on that 50-50 risk. Checkpoint as well is free. Take a look at the zone pull, though. It's looking like a barometer ending.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
I like barometer. It's easy to get to relatively. It has a lot of buildings that you can play. There's a lot of high points, low points that teams can take advantage of. But if you're rotating late and if you're rotating without a Valkyrie or even an Ashe, a team on top of the barometer height can easily charge rifle you. And that's what a lot of teams die, at that spider nest down below. In that water, if you're traversing in barometer without any kind of mobility, it's dangerous. You might get sniped at, you might get charge rifled at. Even inside of those bridges, there's a lot of angles that high ground teams can take advantage of, and that's how the barometer team usually gets the most amount of kills, if they take that high ground and take advantage of long-range weapons.
Super familiar to those who have been playing Apex Legends Control, the limited time mode that's come back and forth in Apex, and we've all really enjoyed it. Barometer, one of those maps, so you can tell there's experience in that realm for those new and those in this competitive scene, but holding that high ground going to be so important. Those there first in that southern side dropping will have an advantage, but teams that maybe have won this before and aren't too worried about being able to catch up to circles like this are starting farthest away. We actually got to see ARS Baguette, our winners of the first 4 games, landing in Lightning Rod, which is the most northern landing location you can have for a drop spot in Storm Point. They got a ton of loot. Obelix, Perry, Terranez, and Taylor feeling confident that they'll be able to make it down to the south barometer circle in time and fight their way through.
Yeah, they definitely will be able to. Now, RFS, they're having a rough start. They do have those mobility legends that we were talking about. Another Valkyrie Horizon, right? So they will be able to get there. It just might not be safe. If a team sees you flying in as a duo, they're definitely going to be prepared to take that risk and 3v2 you if you land poorly. Now, there are some spots around Barometer, but not too many, like little crevices that you could try and sneak in, but it doesn't seem like they're too worried about that rotation. They might be playing edge zone, which is also a smart idea to do.
And that's just sometimes what you have to do when you have two. As we take a look at Francis and Ferreira. AXFF team got Dave, Seer, and the Gibraltar. Casted a couple days ago, girl, and it was interesting. There was a lobby where pretty much no Gibraltars were around. I wonder if that's just the impact of the style of Apex Legends that is taking the world by storm with this more of aggressive and mobile, tactic-oriented play, where Gibraltar might be a little too slow to keep up with some of the benefits that his defense actually landed. Hold that thought, though, because literally vibing, already picking up a nice kill onto Blitz and getting some KP early to their name. That's got to feel good. Already points on the board for them, but no Gibraltar as well in their lineup.
Yeah, Gibraltar has fallen off a little bit, I think, because of the excessive amount of cryptos and Seers. Because Seer can cancel those revives inside the bubble, he's not as valuable as he used to be. And like you said, the rotations, he's going to be slow on those rotations, might be caught off guard in an open area. And what can you do to really get out of that unless you sacrifice another legend to put in like a Wraith or an Ashe? But here we go, ARS Baguette. We've talked about them. Won 4 qualifiers, all right? And this is what they do. Taylor takes angles on his prey. Pere makes sure he stays alive and places his ultimate as well as he can. And Obelix kind of works well with Taylor when they pinch this team together. Yeah,
pinching is something that's been some form of tactic that's worked really well for them, and keeping them in one place. Eventually, they wear them down. Obelix, a very strong support player. So is Perry. It kind of hangs back. Obviously, they started with that EMP, but there's been no opening so far, and Taylor's the one to make it. Here's the shield cell. Obelix crawling up on the side. Taylor can push, and so can Obelix, and that's just going to cause problems for the defenders there, as Taylor now is out. A little duck and dive. Tag team in. And so they are kind of running circles around, but they haven't found that down or that big piece of damage to make things easy. And look at this, someone spying on the other side. It's aim assist Euro. They have a chance to kind of play spoiler to this. Taylor could be in trouble there, and you could see the fight is getting a little bit crazy. Perry is gonna have to run away, actually getting knocked, and Obelix and Taylor realize they could be in trouble.
Oh no, Perry's not the one that needs to go down there. If anything, his other two teammates could go down and he could get that recovery, but he ends up taking the hit. And that's to aim assist Euro. Now, they've gotten second place in our qualifiers before. They're definitely big contenders into this tournament. Weren't able to get that 3-2-1 onto Taylor when he was on the roof, but that's okay because they got Perry's loot. And they do have this other team nearby. Nope, they left. They dipped and dived, so they're actually going to be able to take the loot, craft as much as they can, and maybe Perry's going to be unrecoverable.
Yeah, this is actually great to see aim assist Euro back, girl, right? Just, you know, having that moment to see all these teams together. This is what the Grand Finals is really giving us, a chance to see the best of the best clashing in a lobby together and not worried about the single prize pool, not worried about, you know, less than 20 teams, really going in for one day to show what you have. And this is Taylor doing the tough work. Like you mentioned, the crypto with the drone would have been so much easier to fly back, save that health that's being burned in the zone, save the time. But there might be a rude awakening here. Does aim assist Euro kind of sniff this one out? Are they banner guarding? Looks like they might be, but it's do or die right now. They got to get Perry, and Taylor knows she's getting scanned. She's going to give it up. There's no way. Skyward dive to get in and out. Already lost half their health. That is going to be a crypto gone. They will have to play as 2 for the rest of today.
That is really tough to see. ARS Baguette getting challenged just like that. And Obelix might have to hit this revive as Taylor might not get that heal in time. But Taylor's just trying to go as far as they can. You're going to pop the syringe last second. I think he's got it. Yeah.
Oh!
Oh!
So close. So close. Maybe took a little bit more distance, and I think that's the right call. Obelix with a quick revive. He'll get the syringe up there, but you can see ARS Baguette, our winners of 4 in a row, not off to the greatest start in game 1.
Nope, you hate to see it, but at least it gives everyone else the hope, the chance, you know. Hope does play a big factor in these tournaments. Do you have the ability to make the comeback? Do you have the ability to make it into that top 10, top 5? And this is only the game number 1, so it could turn any way, and they could still do well as a duo. They are going to be a deadly duo, in fact, but getting into that zone is going to be tough.
One squad in the area.
Well, God Trio, as a duo, you got to point out the irony there. Hopefully we can get our players coming in with their full 3. We've seen this before, and it's specifically with Clippers. I want to see if we can take a look at Z-Stereo and the squad of Clippers, because with Jazz, they have found a way, hopefully, to get all 3 in game 1. That has kind of been their crux, so to speak, their crutch, actually, that has not helped them to succeed in some of these tournaments, just barely missing out on top placements because they start most game 1s with just 2 players. We issued a challenge to them last time. Can you get all 3 to start? I think I'm seeing it on the map that they do, but we'll have to confirm there if Chaka, Jazz, and Z-Stereo are all together. That would be a good one.
It would be indeed, and here we've got Dave, Festi, and Eros. AXFF, not in the worst position at all. They're going to just play this low ground and work their way up, play that mountainside, that hill area, which isn't the worst. They have a lot of rocks as cover going into Barometer later on, and then they could fly into whatever position that they feel like going. Does it look to me as they're actually going all the way around? They want to come in from the back of Barometer instead, which isn't a bad decision. Not a lot of people play from that area, so it could be the safer choice.
Well, here we go. Not only is Z-Stereo, Chaka, and Jazz all here, they're rocking the Watson, Seer, and Valkyrie. And Z-Stereo rocking a fully equipped Devotion with 232 ammo in the magazine, in the tank, the back pocket, to be able to go ahead and do what a Watson does best. Bunker down and do some damage while protected. This will be a dangerous team to come across for sure. Clippers, one of our favorites. They pioneered playing a little bit of Newcastle when that was out. Now they've got a chance to go up against some of our other favorites here, some of our better contestants, Sarah Sutcliffe and TXC, but they're looking like they're going to give that one up, girl, and just vie for better positioning. And why not? If you push past this, you have a chance to gatekeep that squad and be much closer to the zone versus trying to take a fight when the round is going to be closing in about a minute and 10 seconds.
That's exactly my preference, to go in just a bit early enough before everyone else comes through and then gatekeep them all. Let them all fight each other on the outside. But here we've got shots with the Devotion. The wall is gone. He's broken it.
What a great use of defensive utility, because I swear that Devotion kept ringing like it was going to be a death for whoever was on the other side of that one. Cheeky Classic in their kill feed takes down TMT as well, but it's Chika in this fight who does find head shoot Dundee, and this is going to be the opening that they need. Clippers pushing through to try to find more kills here, and they are going against the Newcastle squad, so there's going to be defense aplenty, but is it enough?
They take him down. They get the finish. That's just securing the 1 kill point, and they won't be able to get that revive, so that's going to be great. They do have to look, however, on their back end, make sure they're not getting flanked, because that would put them in the pinch, right? If a team came in from behind.
Sure.
Aim assist Euro in the zone. They've got their eyes on somebody. Shots are going through, not connecting quite as well as they'd hope.
Wow. They'll be going for a defensive bombardment here. Big piece of utility defensively. Going to hit the med kit afterwards. And, you know, there's an opportunity that they realize the Skyward Dive is going to allow them to avoid that. And it could be Taylor again. No, it's Cheeky Classic and literally vibing that was being chased. They will make it over this rock, it looks like. Just barely, though, and they will fall as fast as they should. Biohazard not going to be able to get off a syringe. We'll need a revive. And they'll be able to get that here.
Yeah, take a look at that. He dropped his gold bag so he could get that half health revive. It's
Nice.
great to save some meds, but did Cheeky get that med kit off in time? I think so. He'll be okay. Red Fade on the other side of the map, playing near the jungle. Gonna be okay near Jurassic, but they still have a little ways to go from here. They're checking their back, and we do see that there is a team behind them. Talcot's gonna pop. Is it gonna get canceled? Don't believe so. It's gonna be a safe rotation. Now they've just got to find a safe drop spot. I don't think a lot of people are actually playing inside Barometer, inside of all of the buildings or the safe zones. They're more or less all on the edge, and here's ARS on the edge, getting some shots off.
Can they get some kills? ARS back at fighting with 2. 2 seems to be more than enough for them most of the time, especially when it's Taylor and Obelix, and it's a nice pair. They've got mobility and defense together. The 2 legends synergize really well with the shield, allowing the skyward dive a bit easier, or when you land, being able to shield up, take a little bit of cover. But in the Seer meta, it has been difficult to guarantee all the benefits that Gibraltar brings to a squad. And Taylor, without the support of Perry, either to get banners or create openings with that EMP to follow up on the damage she does, maybe not as effective as the Valkyrie. So we'll have to wait and see if he can pull out a miracle. They're just going to keep rotating, and again, 15 squads left. At the beginning of round 4 almost, round 3 coming to a close, but this is a lot of squads left, I'd say, for our tournament. It seems like the pace is tense, and they know what's on the line here today, girl.
Yeah, everyone's going for those placement points, especially since they don't want to risk even getting 1 0-point game. Sometimes that 1 0-point game could be the difference, you know, between making a PS5 or not making a PS5.
Oh,
so you wanna make sure you live as long as possible. King Stefan, though.
Interesting.
Unfortunately, no meds. I think no meds. Maybe getting gate kept. But oh my goodness, Pizza Lovers in a 3v3 fight. Not that's actually it's a 3v2. It's Obelix. Obelix goes down. They get the kill. But Taylor, I think, survives.
And Taylor is doing such a good job of getting out of there on the Red Evo already. Pizza Lovers will take their KP. But did they bite off more than they could chew? We don't play coming in to get involved in this. And it will be just a moment. Both teams will retreat. Taylor will make it out through the chaos and find her way towards another nook and cranny to hide for placement points. Taylor. And you can see Dominus as well, looking like a solo. Pizza Lovers nearby. And we don't play up on top. ARS back yet. Not the performance they wanted in game 1. Of course they can come back, but losing Perry in that fight, it was a shocker for them. Aim assist Euro. One of the big reasons why, and here you see them in a great position. They are on edge, but they've got a vantage point onto many teams. A lot of KP could be happening here, especially with the Horizon Black Hole and the Rampage working together. So much damage, that's one for Carlotes, and it seems like there's more on the horizon, girl.
And that's 2 in the same clip. Assassin and Ferreira both go down. He's just gonna pop a shield battery. It'll be okay. There is still another squad inside that building, so they should be able to get these finishes from the far. Carlote is going to take that high ground. They got another 2 knocks with nades. They're gonna go in. They're gonna push this. This is the time. If any time is good for them, that dome's coming in clutch.
Carlote's almost a little too aggressive there. There are eyes on anywhere that you step in this final circle. It is getting close, and there are too many teams now taking up too little real estate, so you're going to see shots almost everywhere. You have to play this carefully. Mamo knows it. Pizza Lovers. Wow, what have they done today except good things? We've seen them finishing off their kills quite easily. Don't walk in their way. Oh, a Mastiff in the hands now of Aqua, potentially. Might just leave it in there. Could be Figo who takes it. But at the end of the day, this team is getting more and more dangerous. They're playing the edge. They don't have anyone on their back. So I like the way Pizza Lovers have actually approached this final fight. They could be one of your contenders to win game 1.
Oh, yes, and they would deserve it as well. They've gotten a few kills under their belt. Taking angles, making sure that they can get a spot in the zone. They are thinking to themselves, what do we want to play? If they play that corner and Barometer, they will get shot from above, but they will have to also gatekeep the team to their right, which isn't going to be an easy thing to do. If they get naded out, there's almost nowhere to run and hide if we don't play look above them. But we don't play playing the back side of top of Barometer, so they could be okay for that rotation.
Now this is maybe the god spot you'd think, girls. Is this where you want to play in this final circle?
Well, for now, this is the place that's going to guarantee you the most kills, or that should guarantee you the most kills, because you get to see the whole entire lobby fight and go down. But Pizza Lovers, they're taking angles on these rocks. The Arc Star is going to come through. Not a stick, unfortunately. That did end up hitting, though. And they're going to have to play it safe, as there could be a team above them. No one takes the spot just yet. Searalt's going to go through. Yep, it is going to be a 3v3. As I said, in this corner, it's going to be hard. They could be getting shot in the back if they don't take this. And from above as well, the R301 not going to connect anything. We're not even going to go for a Seer scan or a Seer cancel just yet. It's going to be a little too late.
Yeah, good information there from the exhibit on Seer. Dangerous spot for Simamo to push. But it is Aim Assist Euro inside against Pizza Lovers. They're having their own little duel. Grab a couple of resources, why not? Might hit a replicator mid-fight. I love it. 7 squads left here. Pizza Lovers deciding how they want to play this next minute. Do we hold this corner? Do we try to push that team down to our right? Or do we try to get rid of Aim Assist Euro, who are right in front of us? Either way, in the beginning, it was all about Barometer, and it still is at the end. We will be ending here. Inside the building, though, just outside of that final circle, there's a setup being made by PPM.
Yeah, but unfortunately, they're going to have to move. So top of Barometer and every team on bottom of Barometer are going to have to make their way into circle. So this is going to be a little bit of a bloodbath unless they have something to rotate with. They could opt for the Valk ult and play as late as they can, although it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough if there's a team right outside of their building. So they're just playing it safe. Everyone's playing it safe, but especially the teams that are in zone. They just got to play low-key until the zone starts to close.
Yeah, it's actually looking pretty decent for that team on the rock. Savage, Twiggy, I'm not sure what their name is right now, but Pizza Lovers and Aim Assist Euro are kind of caught up in fighting each other, and they're using a lot of resources for it, but there's a bigger fight ahead. This is almost like the battle, but it's not the war. And so if you win this one, it doesn't quite guarantee things. Savage, Elmo, and them really have the ultimate zone to their back, and so this is going to be very difficult. Pizza Lovers finding themselves in the middle of a sandwich they don't want to be in. And Dominus kind of taking a couple of risks. Won't lose a full battery. We'll have time to shield that back up as well, as round 5 is starting to close. 15 seconds left before we hit final circle. They are in a decent spot here. Will it force Pizza Lovers out? I think, excuse me, Aim Assist Euro will have to get out of that zone potentially that they've been holding, that building. So Pizza Lovers, if they can just stay here, they will now have maybe the best position in the lobby. And look at this, Giro and Figo. The defensive bombardment is also available. And look at the damage. They're just finding kills. Fish in a barrel for Pizza Lovers. Oh my God, they might have to start going pescatarian at this point because it's looking too easy to find food here.
Oh my goodness, and they have the Mastiff. That's going to be great for late game. Aqua still managing to pick up kills as well. On the right, there's Elmo. He's going to have to heal up here. We Don't Play is still alive, so they ended up surviving the drop down below. Ended up getting themselves a couple kills as well. Here we are with the repeater. Shots are hitting. This is a good angle for them, and they take them out as well. So now there's only 4 squads remaining, all full squads indeed. Pizza Lovers thinking about doing something there, but they're not going to do anything yet. They have the high ground, although they don't have much cover walking into that zone, so they got to play this super safe.
Yeah, at this point, Aim Assist Euro also alive. That may be a problem as well. But when you look at the angles of vision, that's where I think a lot of these teams get caught up in, because you can see certain teams and you can't see certain teams. So you have to make more of an aggressive move to say, let's get rid of this team below us or to the side of us that we're not looking at. Bullets tend to fly towards what's in front of you. But nothing's in front right now due to the Bangalore smoke. Look at this defensive bombardment potential. With the lack of Gibraltars being played in this lobby, this could be absolutely deadly. And Figo knows it. He throws it there. He's going to find 40. Plenty of damage. But not only that, it's the delay. Aim Assist Euro can't quite make it out yet, but Simamo and Asamanda and Carlotes are now making their route towards the left. You can see the resulting moves that are going to happen. Pizza Lovers still on the top side of it all and finding help down below. It's Manda receiving a little bit of pressure relief as all of the fighting still happening above and taking a lot of the focus away from them, girl.
again, Carlota's managing to get that heal, get that Phoenix kit. They're staying alive, and that's what's really important. But Namka doesn't want it to happen. Carlotes, he takes one down. Now it's going to be a 2v1 down below. 4 squads remaining. Pizza Lovers still alive, but barely have any place left to play. They're going to have to jump down. They're going to get focused from the right here. Pizza Lovers got to make a move.
And this is important because the 2 teams below are actually fighting each other. Maybe you can find a way to sandwich this, come in from the backside, and just clean up the rest of the lobby for go. Takes the chances, 26 left on the bubble. That means they're not going to have it. There is a missile swarm available, and a med kit off would be important. Romano just holding for that second place, and it might just be possible because Giroux and Pizza Lovers are the one being focused. That is sure going to be Viper Squadron picking that up. It looks like Romano will be a second place, and Viper Squadron out of nowhere will claim game number 1 as your champions here in our grand finals.
Going down that last second, but hey, we took the dub. We took a lot of kills there too. They managed to play their angles well. They managed to push each other into a corner, and they managed to survive. Taking down Pizza Lovers, that's exactly who they had to focus at the end, and that's exactly what they did right. Making sure the team on the high ground weren't able to survive, and they done exceptionally well there.
Yeah, great stuff from Viper Squadron. I think everyone played that really well. That circle started to, I think it's like when you're finding a great opportunity, right? But that opportunity has only such a high ceiling. So, you're like, this is great, but it's not my forever thing. It's not that career that's going to push me into potentially rising for the rest of my life. It's like a good, now kind of thing. I think a lot of places in that final map ended up having, those mid-level career options where, there's a ceiling, like this will be good till top 5, but then at that point, I'm not sure I'll be able to win the game. It's not going to be easy. And so that's what I think unfortunately happened with Pizza Lovers. They just got cornered behind that little box, and they were not able to have enough time to recover. And the defensive bombardment, I think, was good. I think it was a great idea, but it didn't get much value. And I'm wondering if maybe that should have been saved for some later pressure. But I don't know. Either way, game 1, girl, it was kind of a blistering start to our grand finals.
I agree with you, though. I think if the bombardment was used later on to Viper Squadron in particular, because everyone else were fighting down below, right? So if they used that bombardment on Viper Squadron once the zone got closed in, then they wouldn't have anyone with angles on them. I think Viper Squadron was the only team with angles on them at the moment. So that's something to look at after the fact. DN taking the hit here. One of the only teams playing Wraith. Nice to see. Obelix. So we talked about the Gibraltar. Gibraltar could have done even better there in the end. I think definitely could have made a little bit more space, as you said, but the timing is everything. Just because you're playing a legend doesn't mean you can get that exact right timing. And sometimes it's really hard to figure it out. You want to use your abilities before you die, but you definitely don't want to die with all of your abilities still intact, right? So
Pizza Lovers would have a really good run here, and it would be a top 7 that would finish with a lot of hysteria. Pizza Lovers on top. I felt like Amos's Hero should have been out for the count here, but that Gibraltar bubble lasts just long enough. And although they find 1, there's that angle right there that they did not want to give up. And Viper Squadron across the way, playing this little head glitch. It was so good, so easy. And it just ended up being a simple finish of Romano plays at the end of the day. Tried to come up at the end for some heroics, but it was Viper Squadron all around. They were your Game 1 champions here in our grand finals, and it was a good play overall.
Oh yeah, definitely. They did a great job pressuring both of the teams at the same time so that they themselves weren't taking any pressure at all almost. They didn't have to use much. I don't even think they used their Bangalore ultimate at the end, but they did take that first game win. That's going to be huge. That's going to bring them a lot of confidence going in forward. Dominus, Twiggy, Savage Elmo, put some respect on their names as they win our first game of the Master Circuit Finals.
And you did mention the fact that the Bangalore was being played. Not every team is running Bang. We actually see very few teams running Bang now, but there was that smoke that came in right as that circle was starting to push in that final zone that kind of occluded the vision of, who was it? It was Pizza Lovers Gibraltar. So he did throw that ultimate, but had very little vision with the smoke when he threw it. So again, a big shout out to Viper Squadron, just making things difficult for the enemies that they were fighting in that final circle. Obviously, it is a good start for them. We are waiting the updated standings here. and to get ourselves back into game number 2. It's going to be interesting to see how much of a lead that was. There were several teams: Aim Assist Euro, Viper Squadron, Pizza Lovers. Taylor and Obelix got some decent placements there. We did see a bunch of teams perform today in game 1.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure how far ARS Baguette went, but they're definitely going to be displeased with their performance in game 1. Definitely going to take it. You know what? It is what it is. They are great in fights, but they don't take the fights necessarily super fast. And if you don't take that fight super fast, people are going to come around. They're going to pinch you. They're going to take advantage, and that's what Aim Assist Euro did. So they're going to have to think of that going forward. This is Grand Finals. They have to know that they have competition out there. Just because you won every week doesn't mean that there aren't people coming for you.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe you are the one that everyone is planning against because you have won so often. That's the other problem with being so successful, that people start looking to chop you down, and they have a great playbook on what you do well. And that also means they've got a lot of time to study a lot of material of how you've done it. And so that gives them opportunities to play against it. That's one of those things that I was even talking about in that final circle last week. We saw, as we were getting ready to head into game 2, we saw kind of this, I would say, transparent approach in these final fights. You knew there was going to be this crypto ult. You knew they were going to throw grenades off of that on that mini stun. You knew they were going to send Taylor in full, Metal Alchemist Brotherhood on that thing. And then essentially it was going to be game over. It's kind of like the way you see these Horizon, Seer, Valkyrie lineups. Black Hole comes, the Arcstar comes, they're all coming. And that ends up being, I think, where it is predictable. And if you don't have that predictable plan, or you're just a 2, it's very, very difficult. So they got to protect Perry a little bit more in those situations and make sure that he makes it an in-game. That is a big part of why they've been so successful.
Yeah, and I'm not 100% sure if Perry had ultimate or if they just didn't want to waste it, but maybe they're going to have to think, hey, we need to finish fights a little bit faster, so let's just use everything we've got, and we're a strong enough team to just be able to armor swap and 3v3 another squad. But you're right, people do know how they play. They know Taylor often gets a very far or different angle than his team, so if they could just quickly think about that and take aggression on either Taylor, but preferably Obelix. Obelix is Gibraltar, right? Obelix doesn't have a way to really get out. So if they take 3 people and just rush Obelix, that could be a very good opening for one of the other teams. But let's not be too harsh on ARS Baguette. There's still lots of games to come. There's still lots of opportunities for them to come back. We know that they're going to come back.
Yeah, they have the potential. There's no doubt about what they can do. They've proven it to us time in and time out. The only thing is, can they do it on Championship Sunday? I was actually, really thinking about championships today because, in my life, athletically, I don't know, girl, we'll talk about yours. I'm not sure if you've been in any championship kind of finals kind of experiences, but it is definitely a different energy. It's a day dedicated to, this is it, everything that I've worked for. And, you wake up differently, like breakfast is different. Your mind is in a different zone than just playing another tournament, and I think that's also something to consider for these gamers and these competitors. It's a mentality that you've got to bring to stay consistent, even though you've been so consistent all the way through to make it here. You've got to somehow step it up, which is hard, when you're already playing well.
Yeah, I get tournament jitters, I feel like, when there's so much pressure.
Right.
You have pressure on yourself. Other people are putting pressure on you. Like, you have people that you feel like you're going to let down, or, you know what I mean? Like, maybe they've told their families, hey, I might win a PS5 today. Now they have that. Now they have that in the back of their minds, right? I've played and competed a few times, so I know, like, nowadays I get tournament jitters. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do to work on that or how to get past that, but I definitely know I have that. I've been getting into sports again recently, and I feel like that helps, like, kind of help in the way, like, refreshes your mind, refreshes your body, hand-eye coordination going strong, you ready to game, like, super excited. But yeah, I've been in chess tournaments.
Right.
I always got second place, and there were only 2 people in my grade. So
okay. Wait. Only 2 people in your grade. You kept getting second place.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm just trying to put that one together.
There's no
So
pressure there.
there's
because
no
I always knew I was taking something home.
first or second, yeah, I love the Jerry Seinfeld, Olympics comedy routine that he's got about that. First, second, third. I mean, it's incredible. You got to check that out if you're a Seinfeld fan for sure. He's got some great stand up on it. But I think competitions, they are very interesting. And they do bring out interesting parts of ourselves that we have to address, because sometimes there are those moments where you get nervous and you're like, I wasn't nervous until now, and it's like, I wasn't until now. Here's actually an interesting life parallel as well. It's like, when you're trying to do like 10 days, I'm going to not have sugar, right? I won't have sugar for 10 days. And then all of a sudden, I'll hold that thought because it's a good one, because we've got our standings finally up for game number 1. It is 20 points for Viper Squadron, but we don't play Pizza Lovers. AXFF team and Aim Assist Euro hanging in there with double digits, 11 each. And also look at those eliminations. All of those teams within 2 or 1 eliminations of each other. So some serious shredding starting out in game 1.
This is definitely a top-heavy leaderboard, Top 6 have gained the most points in the lobby, 20 points. Not far off from We Don't Play, and they're the team that landed Barometer. They're the team that played height, and we talked about it. They're going to get kills, and they did. They got 6 kills, which was pretty average for the top 6 placement there, so great for them to make it to second place. Pizza Lovers, they maintained that high ground. They did wonderfully there. AXFF, nice to see them. We didn't see them too much, but we did see them make the rotation, I think, back of Shipfall there. So 11 points is amazing for them. Aim Assist Euro, they took advantages. They took one of their biggest contenders out, or kind of put that crutch on them, right? And that's it. TXC, they were only a duo, but they still maintained some points, and that's what you want to do in these tournaments. Always maintain the points.
ARS Baguette, only 2 points, 1 elimination. That's a little bit less than what I would have thought, considering it felt like they got to top 7 or so, but it must have been a little earlier that they fell. They were ending up in 12th, and so that just did not work out for them, losing Perry early. We'll see if they can make an adjustment. Clippers falling into 13th, RFS in 15th, Scoobs 16th. They got a little bit of an engagement as well with Aim Assist Euro to start out. So everyone lost a couple of players early, but it was a lobby that I think definitely got more intense as we got the game moving forward towards our 4th and 5th circles, because they were waiting, they were patient, they were playing in games. There was not a level of aggression or aping that you typically see when it comes to some of these lobbies that we've experienced. Everyone was playing it like there's thousands of dollars on the line in PS5s, and that's actually what is happening. There are thousands of dollars on the line and PS5s today for our winners and our second place team. So they're vying for it. They're vibing for it. I'm going to go back to the story because we still got a little bit of time for game 2. So you know how you have something where you're saying for 10 days, right, I'm not going to do it. It's easy if you're at home, you have no sugar in the house, you've got nothing to tempt you, right? So you can act like you just did it. And that's a lot of these competitions, I don't really have this crazy pressure. If I win or lose, it doesn't really matter. So I feel like I'm giving it my all. I'm seeing myself at the highest level. But I don't know until I'm tested in that moment. And the second someone goes, hey, man, I got ice cream. I brought it back home. You want some? That's when you have your first test. Not when there's no ice cream around and you couldn't get it if you tried. When you say you want something, that's when the temptation comes. Most people don't recognize that. I think in this grand final situation, we've had 4 tournaments. They know they're already in the grand finals. So maybe 3 through 4, it's usual. This is the day that we're going to see if ARS Baguette with the temptation like, yo, this is when it actually matters. Can we put it together? And that's what I'm looking for from these teams. When it actually counts, when everything's on the line, can you do it? And that's what I'm hoping we see from not only Clippers, but ARS Baguette. And of course, anyone in the lobby who can jump up and go, hey, maybe this is our day. You didn't count on us, but we're here.
I love the way you see things, truly. And I know there's like a little trend sometimes with people. So people actually put like a dessert or something that their kids like right in front of them, and they say, just wait a minute, I'll be back in 5 minutes. And they leave, they come back and see if their kid has, you know, fallen for the temptation or not. And most of the time they fall for it, right? And they're just like, yeah, but didn't eat nothing. And then they have chocolate all over their faces. It's such a cute trend.
Yeah, it's based on actually an interesting psychology study where you can do that with a kid, and then you can also promise them that if they wait, they will get more if they come back. So if you get, you know, 1 marshmallow and you eat it now, or you can wait 15 minutes and I'll come back and I'll give you 3 marshmallows. And it's very, very funny to see the kids' reaction there. Also goes to show, you know, when things are in front of you and you really care about them, that's when your true colors show up. So what are we going to see today? Everybody's a great competitor. Everybody here has worked hard and has something to give. And whether it shows up today, it's not a slight, but for those who do show up, it is a badge of honor, that is for sure, because it's a big moment. And you're going to be very, very happy if you get that $1,500 prize and a PS5 each. Clippers right now fighting for their lives as they start down in a bit of a 50-50, and it has not quite gone their way yet. But they've got some decent weapons to deal with. This PK and an alternator, girl, that's pretty good early game.
They absolutely love the wall. I feel like I always see them taking 50-50s here, so they're definitely talented and they definitely have the experience of doing so, but they did get really low. Happily, they got recovered. Luckily, they got recovered there, so they're going to be in another 50-50. There is another one going down on the west coast on the down beast, literally vibing on top. They're going to drop down.
Keep track of both of these because Zestero went down in that other fight that we were watching. Literally vibing, has all 3 members alive and looking pretty well. Oh, that's a good shot right there. And the 9, no way, he gets away. It seems like it's short-lived, because they will find the knock right there. And look, this will be a finish. Almost as if to say, how dare you make me waste another full magazine. But Watson forever. Is it Cheka who will be avenging Zestero, who has fallen down? Was it only a duo who was causing this much trouble for Clippers? My, oh my. They'll have to use the beacon to get Jazz back, but luckily enough, there's one right there.
There we go, the revive happening. They do have the banner. And they do have some loot. So this is going to be great for them, picking up those kills. At the wall, place that they never give up. And it has crafting, so it's going to be extravagant for them to be able to get all of those points and a bunch of shield batteries to pull forward with. In the end zone here in Fish Farms, we often also see TXC here. Watching these qualifiers leading up to these finals, it's so nice because we get to see so much that we've seen before play over and over, and now we get to see if the hard work does pay off. Now both of these teams have fought. These teams have been in 50-50s before. Let's see who takes home this win.
Yeah, Fish Farms on the southeastern side of Storm Point. You can see it's TXC. Great story talking to Sarah, her IRL boyfriend and teammate Raymond, working together to put together some incredible performances throughout the day. The thing is, can they take the top spot? That is what we are looking for with the help of Finn. Certainly have the capabilities to do it, but it's going to be about that aggressive play style coming to fruition. They've got the Horizon, Valk, and Seer combo I was talking about. This is what we've seen really have potential in these late game fights. And honestly, it would be very interesting to look at what a crypto Gibraltar and Valkyrie fight would look like with an EMP against a Horizon Seer and Valkyrie with a black hole. I'm curious what the aggression, what the standoff would look like with those teams clashing.
Yeah, it's definitely not sure how that one would really go. It just depends on the teams, and we might be able to see that later on. But I know when I've played crypto before, it's really good for you to play alongside your Gibraltar. So you play, you go forward, you pop a dome right in their faces, and then you throw out that EMP, you hit it, and then you have this dome fight with an advantage of health, which is super cool. I haven't really gotten the chance to try that out many times, but I think that's what Albrelelli kind of advised me a little bit on crypto there a long time ago.
Oh, wow. Well, good person to be taking some tips from.
Yep.
Deanna Albrelelli, formerly of TSM, still of TSM, competing though with C9. One of the most accomplished players in Apex Legends history. Some tips there on the broadcast from Girl. 16 squads left. We've got Savage just trying to make a move on the eggshell. Looking to take height. Dangerous spot to be, but just threatening with presence and a little peek. It's going to be tough to push this Caustic, though. They already did much more damage on that trade. Savages coming in at the very end with this one. And look at this. Dan making a lot out of that Octane jump pad and just pushing at the right time. Oh, my goodness. Even with the Caustic, they lose one player, but they trade all three. Dan and Jerry picking up the pieces.
Dan and Jerry, that sounds really good. Good for them. They played that well, especially Dan going in underneath and then just waiting for that drop down. They had them pinched when they dropped down. They coordinated and effectively won that 50-50. We don't play, unfortunately, have a duo this game, so they had an exceptional first game. Unfortunately, not doing so great in terms of how many players that they have, although they have decent, not the best, but decent loot, and they are going to rat here on top. So if a team does end up coming up and they do get a free knock, they could put themselves in a even situation where they're only in a 2v2. Could work out for them.
ARS Baguette with a great triple take. We've actually seen this from Obelix before. Prefers a triple take. In one of those near lightning rod zones up on the northern side. Took ultimate height. Had a star-studded moment there. They've got Perry alive still, and I think this is why we see Perry usually hang back. And that is because what happened before, they do not want to have happen again. Could be a little bit of a sneak attack, potentially. Harris Baguette playing very patiently beside the other half of that gravity cannon, just in case there's a chance to shoot somebody out of the air. And they want to make that rotation. It certainly looks like they will have to move that way, though, as the zone is pushing them towards that area. So what's the plan? Skyward dive. They've got the possibility. They can gravity cannon. They want to make sure that roof is clear. This is almost exactly where they died last game. So they've got to be very, very careful about this approach.
Take a look at what the teams are running in terms of guns. I feel like most teams aren't running too many snipers, and I think that's due to, you know, most PlayStation players actually do prefer a 3x or 2-4 over that, you know, 4-12 or 4-10x. So they're going to be running things like triple take, which you don't see too often. I really like this from Obelix. Actually, I do miss the triple take being the sniper. It was one of my favorite ones. And maybe Obelix could say the same thing because he's running it right now. It's going to be hard to hit some deadly shots, but though the 42 comes, and this is just going to be damage for the Evo shield, right? 234 until red armor. And red armor is going to be super important. Gives you that extra amount of HP when it comes to the late game. And they're in a fairly decent spot. They're going to be rotating in from here. And it shouldn't be too bad of a rotation as the zone isn't too far away.
ARS Baguette, 15 squads left. Flying down, and they spot somebody. PPM spots them back as well. Do they want to challenge? Not necessarily. A couple of shots just to let them know they're there. Both teams aware of the presence. Still a lot to bet to try to go and engage on this. Looking for an opening, and it will cause people around to maybe peek their head at as well. The oncoming fight, the potential of a third party is always possible. In fact, most likely probable in Apex Legends. So you've got to be careful. Many of these errant shots don't attract sharks in the water.
Yeah, and it would be pretty dangerous to craft right now with Obelix taking a stare down right there on top. Making sure they ping each other that ammo, making sure they ping each other those grenades. But if they take their eyes off their backs, off of their front, a team could come up any moment. So that's exactly what Obelix is doing. It's like, hey, you know what? I'm going to cover the back. Are you guys covering everything else? Perry also has that drone, I forgot, right? So you could take the drone out, you could scan to see how many squads are in the vicinity, in the area, and you could go around and use it to scan everything out, even scan this beacon and see where the zone's pulling. Oh, they're not in.
Yeah, that could be an issue, but look at this. As the zone starts to be clearer before our eyes, is where it's going. It's going to be a fight uphill for Clippers. R301. It's about 74 onto the dome. Missile swarm back down for Jazz. Playing a little bit of an anchor here. Sometimes you'll see the Valkyrie take that step forward. See Stereo with the Watson just fencing up. Carefully placed. Creating a location that if things do not go well, they can fall back to. And will also deter from any third parties coming that exact area. They'll get the information if the Watson fences are destroyed, or they'll just make them go around that tree, which will take a couple extra seconds and give them a chance to maybe react. But the information Chaika has knows that this fight is far from over. And look who it is. It's Aim Assist Euro. In fact, Carlotes and their squad, they just get a Bloodhound scan, so they know exactly where Clippers are as well. It's a tete-a-tete, bit of a standoff. And they'll leave it at that. As Savages, look at this, girl above it all. Now having a chance to just chill out for a second.
Let's go over here.
Which is nice in a competitive lobby like this, you know? Take a breather.
Yeah, and they got Miss Thorn back up. She got all of her loot. Oh, and Jerox taking out Color Bucket. That's not looking good for Color. Gonna get that thirst through that shield, and now he's the kill leader with 3 kills. Phenomenal by Pizza Lovers, doing great for the second game. That's exactly what you want to see for them, to stay consistent. 14 squads remaining. They're playing edge of zone. This is a tough zone, all right, because it might end up pulling out into the open or into a place where there's not very many buildings. So what's going to come in handy? Well, Gibraltar's going to come in handy to give you that shielding, or Newcastle will definitely come in handy for a zone like this. Take a look at this pull. So TXT, they're going to have to move a fair amount of distance. They're getting shot at as well, so it's not going to be easy. They got Finn back, though. Incredible for them. Finn coming in on that second game. We love to see that. Raymond giving damage, but taking damage. I hear a crypto drone nearby, and it's going to come in. Raymond going to pop the battery right before it hits. That's not going to be good. He's going to have to heal up. Again, Finn, no, he pops the battery right in time, though. Are they going to fly away? Can they fly away? Are they going to get canceled? The missiles are coming through. The nades coming through. Raymond is cracked. Finn is down to 100 HP as well. Sarah, lead the way. Lead us into a safe position.
DXC knows they're in trouble, and it is none other than ARS Baguette on the hunt. They might just run in to some teams, though, who might be hiding. And luckily, with that Valkyrie passive, they see before they land that there was a squad in that little corner of those rocks that they were trying to maybe take respite in, and they will go to the top of that building. It's not too close of a call. I think close enough for them, but definitely not a fight they wanted to take in that way. The EMP did its job. It deterred them. They got out of there, and they are still alive, sitting now atop the building that Clippers are holding on the very bottom floor, still with ARS Baguette to move in, most likely walking this one. And a team on the other side, Koopy, making their routes. Far up ahead, they can see Samamo and the rest of Aim Assist Euro, but ARS Baguette, they're still on the hunt. What will they find here? A lot of damage against them, that's for sure. And Obelix is in trouble. That's going to be a seer queue. That means they cannot heal, and they're silenced. Obelix goes down. Perry will he be the next to fall? Taylor hit a battery, and as the Valkyrie, going to be the most mobile here to get away. Perry, though, still alive, and this is the key. You've got to make sure the attention goes with Taylor. And again, it looks like Perry will fall. 1 health to his name. Taylor's going to have to pull off some heroics here because it's none other than Figo. And I believe Pizza Lovers, who are the ones who are pushing ARS Baguette and making their world a living nightmare yet again.
Oh my goodness. So he's lost both of his teammates, including Perry. They're not in the zone. Okay, so that team's actually going to Valk ult. He's going to realize that they Valk ulted, and he's going to try and opt to get those banners. Now, we don't have much time. The zone is closing in, and the zone's going to do damage. Are we still going to try and go for it? Is the question. You can actually heal in zone 3. You just got to pull it off before the 4th tick or as the 4th tick arrives. So 1, 2, 3. He's got to pop it. He's got to pop it. No, he's going to die zone unless he gets in. Oh, no, he can outrun it. Outrun it.
Good.
Okay, good call. Good call by Taylor surviving
call.
this. Okay, not too bad.
That is what it is all about here. But again, ARS Baguette feels like they're just a day late and a dollar short on a lot of these engagements. They're being aggressive, but they're not the same level of aggressiveness that we've seen where it's just, we're in, right? And Taylor's just back and forth. And maybe it's the quality of the lobby. Maybe it's the fact that they're just not mentally in the same place that they were, trusting this composition to go all in and make it out alive with armor swaps and be ready for the next fight.
Yeah, and this is our most stacked lobby, right? Grand finals. They haven't consistently seen every team in every qualifiers all at once, right? So they're more used to having a little bit of a laid back tourney where they were the most dominant squad or one of the few most dominant squads. Now everybody's here. Everybody's joined the party. All right, they might not be the funniest one or the funniest person at the party anymore that everyone's hoping to see. And they're feeling that. They might have to change their mindset, be less aggressive, and play for that end zone. Here, Pizza Lovers, amazing shots. They take down 1 already. They take down 2. They take down the whole squad.
Pizza Lovers. Absolutely on fire. What else can you say about them? Already with 5 kills, 10 squads left. They made a top 10 again. They placed extremely well last game. They didn't win, obviously, against Viper Squadron, but they were 14 points, I believe. So essentially 3rd in that lobby, 2nd or 3rd.
Look at this, ARS Baguette. They've gotten their teammates back. So Perry and Obelix are back. Not with the greatest amount of loot, but not in the worst position either. They don't have to travel too far. Although, take a look at this TXT right above them. That's going to be harsh.
Red Fade. A team we haven't seen much of quite yet. Good chance for us to watch how they handle this fight. Bit of a skyward dive problem, though.
The zone!
And that will be a night-night for Red Fade.
Good night. Unfortunate. A second earlier or 2 could have helped, but unfortunately, you have to think about that next time. ARS Baguette. They're also tanking zone. They're trying to play ice. They're trying to play behind this rock, although it is not in, and they've just realized that it is also not in. Enemies flying left and right of them, and hey, take a look at this. TXT, we were talking about them earlier. Very nice shots coming in from Taylor, and it's really all up to Taylor to figure this one out as they are pinched between both sides. They're getting shot from 3 different angles. That's Cheka, that's HKE, taking them all out. Unfortunate.
Wow, again, you can see it happening. There's momentum building for some of these teams. And there's some teams that haven't quite found their way. Amos's Euro has been very consistent. And that's Dominus going down. That's Viper Squadron. Twiggy as well. That might have been a full Viper Squadron out. And Amos's Euro in a nice spot for the Rock. They're going to have to push through some very dangerous territory, though. Cheeky Classic. They've got eyes on them. TXC still alive. We asked the question. They seem to be answering, but they're going to have to go against Clippers here, too. And a big EMP. It's going to throw off Amos's Euro, that's for sure. But at least they don't have to fight against the zone. 33 seconds from now, it is going to be almost impossible because that is going to be too much damage to fight through. And they need to clear some space. And I think that might have been enough. And you can see the Carlotes is trying to make the move. He's bridging the gap. The bubble, maybe in front of everyone, leaving 2 behind to provide some cover fire. Is the right decision as Carlotes now on this rock, forcing Biohazard, Cheeky Classic to back off just a bit, but they've got to get Monda back. That's the last battery they'll be able to do before this round starts to move. TXC picking up more. And this is good as this, yes, it is. Clippers. that they figured out a way to take out, and now they're chasing Jazz for that final KP. They should be able to find it. Look at Finn getting aggressive. Sarah's going down. Maybe Finn just fighting for placement points now, and so is Jazz. Finn may be in a better position, but you got to hope that Matt Fanzi and Eno do not run into Finn first.
Yeah, Matt realizes Finn's in front of him, whereas he doesn't realize that Jazz is behind him, right? So Jazz might end up picking up a little bit more placement points. Kozu ends up going down to Manda. Amos's Euro looking so strong here. They got to play this LOS. LOS meaning line of sight. They have to hug this wall so that they won't get shot at from above. And if they do pull back, then the team above them has an angle. That's Cheeky Classic. That's Biohazard on top. Matty Fonzie making his way in, playing LOS as well. They're actually playing inside. Very nice position. Matty staying alive, doing his best, making sure that he doesn't get angled out. Amos's Euro still on that low ground. So we've got 5 squads left and only 11 players. So we're missing 4 people. So do we still have both solos alive here? Is that it?
Finn and Jazz are both alive. In fact, Finn was forced a little bit towards where Jazz is hiding on the eastern side of this circle, right in front of where they're staring. You can see. And I wonder if Jazz is just going to peek his head out and try to get a shot on Finn. Because they've got to know. They've got to have the information. Literally vibing. Has Cheeky Classic on. There it is. Look, Finn. He sees it. He knows that's where Jazz is. It's the time to push. That's a lot of noise. I guess Finn can't just stay there.
Yeah, Finn's going to play that gatekeep. So he has to hug this wall because if he moves off of it, the team on the high ground will shoot him in the back. So he's just going to gatekeep by staying there and hope that the other teams help him shoot Jazz. Although Jazz might have this little head glitch angle. Oh no, Jazz is getting beamed by Finn. Jazz is 1 HP. Jazz is 1 HP. 1 shot from getting killed here in the air. Playing his life as long as possible, but I think his life is going to end right before Finn's.
Wow, it looks like it. Did Jazz just really... Oh, and it's Biohazard who picks it up. The kill goes to literally vibing, but a placement point goes to Finn. You got to say, good work from TXC. Better positioning there. Jazz survived, but not much you could do after that. The EMP is ready. Drone needs to be used, but here's the point. Cheeky Classic has to find a way to support this fight. After the black hole has been thrown, the bubble has been popped. And so maybe that's really a do-nothing moment. Just sit here. You don't have to move just yet. And I think this is where Biohazard, literally vibing, have to just pay attention to the advantages they already have on this high ground. Do not turn it into a disadvantage by giving up too much space and being too greedy. They will have to move before you, but they are hugging that wall, girl. And in many ways, you talk about that line of sight. Will it ever change? Will they be able to hug this wall all the way into the final circle?
Now, I think the final circle does not end on that building, so everyone's going to have to move out right into it, and this is just going to make it a close fight. Finn's going to survive for now. He does have that ramp there to play, but he's going to get caught out here soon because Monda's going to be able to see him from this angle. Cheeky Classic's definitely going to see him as well. The EMP goes through. Everyone's cracked, or at least almost fully cracked here. Cheeky going to have to jump down so he doesn't take any damage from the storm, and he does it, but he jumps into a different team.
Oh,
super massive damage for the Vault coming in. Biohazard doing as best as he can. He's in the air.
Swap. Can you get it? He got a swap. This is huge. Literally vibing. Might just be able to win this one because of it, and it's Amos's Euro. What? Who go up and come down, and they land as champions.
Was it the Wraith? Did the Wraith help them survive for as long as they needed? You know, you don't normally see Wraith being played in these events. You don't see Wraith being played in Stormpoint at all, but we have a couple of them in this tournament, and that could have been the defining factor for this win.
That was crazy. I saw when they went up on the elevator to heaven together, the gravity lift from Horizon. It felt like Amos's Euro had 2 players going up with literally vibing. And I think that's what they utilized to stay above that fight. When literally vibing stayed down, shield swapped, I think it was just a matter of landing on literally vibing and the players who were still left and being able to finish off the kills, maybe getting some shots in the air. It would be great to see another perspective of that. But Amos's Euro, this is a team that we haven't seen for many weeks. We've seen them perform well. but now they're winning games, and that is scary. And it also does not bode well for our 4-time winners, ARS Baguette, who have not been able to put it together. And it's just looking like this lobby is getting more and more intense. Pizza lovers, aim assist Euro. Who's going to go back to back? Who's going to win multiple games? It's grand finals. This is the time. You got to put it together.
Yeah, honestly, you can sense the pressure, right? You can sense that this is the best tournament we've had yet in this master circuit.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's here to game, everyone's here to play, everyone's playing their life. Normally, we see people be a little bit more aggressive, we see them fight, and that'll just leave less teams for the end zone, which would make the end zone kind of end a little bit quicker. But take a look at this, Savages with that clutch. Dan hitting all shots mid-air. That was beautifully played. Quick reload with the R3-1, getting the knock on the Caustic. But this is my favorite part, where Jerry just waits for Valkyrie to jump down. Ferreira going down there to the flat line. Pizza lovers did a great job here fighting a Newcastle's team. We don't have many Newcastles in this tournament at all, and I'd love to see Color Bucket being played. But unfortunately, it did not bode well for them in that situation. Now, Pere Taylor, they chose to play a safe location, but they did end up getting flown in on, getting 50-50, and kind of ruined their game, you know? Once you're going into end zone with double white armors, you know it's over.
And that's not a fun place to be, for sure. I'll tell you that. Happened to me many a time, and luckily I'm not playing in this thing, so I'm not too worried about it. Aim assist Euro, though, they certainly are. They were in a bit of a pinch. They found their way out, and this is what I respect about this team. Just being able to find those moments to push through the adversity and still make it out on top. TXT had a nice moment where they actually won this fight against Clippers, who swung really wide. Typically, that's not the best play in Apex. If you all swing wide, someone can kind of hug a wall or hug a rock and still shoot you, but they decided to get aggressive, just didn't have anything to follow up on it. It would be Finn who would survive, and Jazz would try to make a heroic play, but the landing wouldn't quite be as heroic as planned. And this is PPM going up into the air. This is also aim assist Euro going up into the air. When they land, it's just a couple of shots. You can see it.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful play there.
Phase not needed. Phase was not needed. Mamo doing really well. Oh, they were all right here, yeah. Phase was used. Did they shoot Biohazard to death? Yeah. Biohazard got killed. It was a 3v1 there at the end. Aim assist Euro 4, 3, and 2 kills. Great shot accuracy percentage, knowing that they had to go through that really close range combat and through the air, up in the air, and jumping back down. It was hectic there at the end.
It really was. I mean, I really love the fact that they were going for what was maybe not looking like the premier spot, and they stuck with it. They hugged that wall. They played around their Gibraltar bubble, and when they had to go out, they baited that crypto ultimate, but at that time that it was, the defensive bombardment came out, and it wasn't enough for people to really follow up on that crypto ult, and it just meant that when the gravity lift came out from Horizon, they could get on it, and they said, this is our opportunity. They sent 2 up, they kept 1 down, 1 died, 1 landed, 1 phased, and then they decided to attack at the very end. Very nice play from that squad. So really appreciate Aim Assist Euro bringing in the heat. They're going to take your top spot now after game 2. Pizza lovers right behind Viper Squadron after winning game 1. We'll stay with 24 and literally vibing, and We Don't Play will round out our top 5.
Wow, it is tight there. 23 points, 24, 27, 32. It's going to make it hard for the bottom teams to catch up at this point, but it's not impossible yet, as we have 4 games left to go. And yeah, Aim Assist Euro last game, they were overachievers, let's be honest here. They did exactly what they needed to do. They still had 3 up at the end of it. It was beautifully played. Red Fade, 11th place. Unfortunately, they used that Valkyrie ult just a tiny bit too late. If they had done it earlier, they may have gone into the sky, or they may have gotten canceled by that seer Q. You did see that there was a seer right above them.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you know, hey, it's been a great game 2. We've had 2 games so far in our 6-game total for our master circuit. And what does that mean? It means that if you want to see more, well, you know to stay here. But if you want to know what's happening in the future, check out compete.playstation.com. That's where we have all our PlayStation tournaments action for our Apex Legends Master Circuit and many, many more things, and the schedule of all that is coming forward for you to find out and be a part of the PlayStation tournaments community. We also want to say that we have a special episode of Dropping In, our brand new live show where Girl and I break down the moments of the Apex Legends Master Circuit and interview your favorite stars from the tournament and also talk Apex, what's happening in the metas with the weapons. We'll have a new season at that point to discuss, and it's all happening on August 24th. So lock the dates in your calendars. We will see you there for our next episode. All right, that's it. Game 2 coming up. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, Game 3 and 4 are coming up here in our grand finals for Europe. They put him down. Silence him.
Welcome to the home of PlayStation Tournament's Apex Legends Esports. Get ready for all the Apex content you need to improve your game and win prizes in fast-paced, easy-to-join competitions. Look forward to exciting content to get you competition ready, including a monthly live show hosted by me, Rainday, where we'll discuss the latest in Apex, chat with some huge guests, recap the PlayStation tournaments, and much, much more.
So far, so good.
Videos that feature breakdowns, tips, and exciting interviews. And in-depth articles featuring news, ways to improve your game, and conversations with competition winners and esports insiders. So, like, follow, and subscribe for Apex Legends content, and visit the PlayStation Tournament's website, compete.playstation.com, to sign up for competitions.
PlayStation.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here at the Apex Legends Master Circuit, our PlayStation Tournament's grand finals of the Master Circuit that began, what was it, in June, girl? And we have now gone all the way to the very end of July. Been nearly 2 months of competition for these teams who are now vying for some great prizing. And I'm talking about money, $1,500 for the winner. Money, $1,200 for the second place. But PS5s for not one, not two, but all 3 members of our top 2 teams. 6 PS5s going out to them. And I am so hyped, so excited. And it looks like it's kind of encouraged some of our teams that we've seen before, girl, to step it up in ways that we haven't seen.
Oh yeah, of course. Everyone is here to win today. Everyone's playing at their absolute best Apex Legends. And you really can see a Viper Squadron. We've seen them in our qualifiers before, but we haven't seen them this high in the leaderboards. We have seen them in our top 5, top 10, but hey, take a look at this. 3rd place, not even far off from 2nd place, and it's still viable for 1st place finish. Aim Assist Euro, we've seen them compete. We've seen them get 2nd place before. Pizza Lovers as well, we've seen them do exceptionally well, and this is a tight lobby. Our absolute best Apex Legends, and it's only been 2 games. It is so close, it's so tight. Even some of our best teams like TXC and Baguette Squad, unfortunately,
not even on this.
Yeah, not even on the top 10.
That's remarkable. I would never have guessed that the team who has won 4 in a row after 2 games wouldn't even be in our top 10, let alone have just 5 points. What is going on? I don't know, but boy, oh boy, maybe the confidence isn't there today. Maybe too confident and having to readjust. But hey, they've got 4 more games. Anything can happen to change these standings up. So we'll see what is going to go down. It's game 3 coming up. We've got our fly-through soon, and of course our character selection coming up. We have been chatting about what's going on. But girl, kind of takeaways. I mean, to me personally, it is that we're seeing teams who have performed maybe like Pizza Lovers, who I wouldn't have expected to be up on the top 3. But we're also seeing, ARS Baguette not perform. There's some teams in between, like PPM, we're seeing actually show up and make a couple of nice moves. We saw Dan and Jerry, play a couple of nice moments at that eggshell. I think what's great is that we are continuing to see teams find moments in this grand finals, and that's special to do it on a day like this.
Oh, it for sure is, and something that you got to consider is the lobby, right? If the lobbies change between qualifiers and finals, you have to adjust. You might not be able to get those secluded 3v3 fights you normally do on Edge. Maybe you have to change up your play style. Unfortunately, not what you might be the most comfortable with, but something you really got to consider because it's now or never, right? It is grand finals. You're not going to have another grand finals tomorrow. You're not going to have a second try. You got to figure it out now, in the moment, and that's not easy to do for a lot of teams.
There's not a second grand finals tomorrow?
No.
Oh my God. Oh, thank God. My schedule's wide open now. I thought I was booked all day. Okay. All right. Well, I think it's good to know that this is the moment. I think Awesome Manda, Carlote Simamo on Aim Assist Euro running like a season 5 comp with Gibraltar, Wraith, and Bloodhound. Pretty amazing to see that working and finding themselves up at the top still of this map.
Oh, it is. It is. And it's been working out for them for the most part, but they've been having some good zones, and they've been making them their way into the zone fairly well as well. But if this one pulls down towards that fish farm, outside of fish farms, or even towards Launchpad, that's going to be a tough one to get in and without a Valkyrie, with that combo that we've been seeing. So we might see some different winners here. And honestly, ARS Baguette will be happy about this. The rotation from Lightning Rod all the way down to Fish Farms is fairly easy, and you gotta note they have Beacon. It's gonna be a fast rotation, and you don't see anyone on their south side. Just look at that. They just go straight down that line, and they'll be perfect inside that end zone if it does pull that way. Now, there is a potential for it to pull Antenna. There is a potential for it to pull west or just under Stormcatcher,
Right.
but not a bad position for them ultimately. It's not like it's Cenote Cave where it's going to be really hard to get. And how many 50-50s do we have? The wall. Take a look at that. Clippers actually ended up winning that 50-50 fight and pushing that other team away from them. This is Grand Finals. Nobody really wants to take those 50-50s. Unfortunately, I think at the mill I see a 50-50. Barometer is taken up by 2 teams. Nobody wants that Stormcatcher. We have one team going there now. But Checkpoint. Checkpoint has been wide open since the beginning. I just can't believe it. Something
That
that
is weird.
you could do is, after the game is over, you take a look at the VOD and see what's open. I know that's legal, so, but unfortunately not being utilized.
That's a good little inside tip from the more pro perspective. I like that. Yeah, why not? I mean, and that's one of the questions I was going to ask. I'm not sure if Perry, I feel like they have always landed Lightning Rod. I feel like they did land in that area, but I was also questioning it. Have they always landed there? It feels like maybe rotations have been tough. The other thing you mentioned, though, they've had to go through the western side of the map and run into a bunch of teams. Where there was that Barometer and where our last circle was, I forget where that actually was, the name of where that was in game 2. But either way, they've had to progress amongst other teams that have already been much more cemented than them. They finally have a chance to have a really easy rotation towards Fish Farms. They're not going to be first. Obviously, landing above Fish Farms is TXC, and so they'll have an easy kind of route there to maybe their priority spot in one of those buildings to hold. But I do think that maybe this is the map that could turn things around for ARS Baguette. They've got a much easier path, and we'll see if they could take advantage of it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And that spot you're talking about actually doesn't have a name. So it was actually on like a no-name area on a building. I believe it was outside of Command Center and not too far away from it. I don't think it necessarily has a name, but it's close to there. Now RFS, they're playing as a duo. 17 squads left. We do see a fight in hand in the kill feed. So Assassin with a Spitfire taking Guillaume and ITA. This is TXC though in Fish Farms. Take a look at this. Color Bucket is contesting them, and they actually are crafting. Now Raymond, being the aggressive Raymond that he is, he's playing Horizon. He has Arc Stars in hand. He already throws down 2 Arc Stars. None of them connect, unfortunately. Doesn't use Gravity Lift, and is worried that Color Bucket is flanking. Now Color Bucket already here. It's going to be a 1v1 here. R99 with purple armor against Color Bucket on white. Color Bucket found a position to get away and does massive damage, but thankfully, Sarah Sutcliffe, the girlfriend, comes in and saves the day.
Wow, I got your back. Don't worry about it. And that just puts a smile on my face. Great to see them supporting each other, and makes it that simple to pick up some KP. Fish Farms is where this game is most likely going to end. So they are nice and set. Gone through a little bit of action. I always like going through action a little early, girl, just to get your sea legs in the game. I think sometimes if you do not touch a fight until the very last circle, then it can be a little hard to actually have the same level of fighting sense than if you just have that one kind of engagement, go through it, and come out alive. There's a little bit of momentum that you have with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And this actually, they could get an off. Yes, Jerry taken down, but can they get another one? They've got to hit that valve for their whole team to fly on down. Now, did Jerry end up staying knocked in air, or is... Well,
he's knocked in air. I think what happens, this is what I've seen before, because we've had this question. I feel like if you're knocked, but you don't unhook, do you just fly with the valve?
It looks like it, and it doesn't look like literally Vibing even cares. They're vibing so hard that they're not even going to chase. They're going to be okay with the damage that they've done. They've got triple purple armor, so it's not like they're in need of loot specifically. They're going to be okay. They're going to focus on the prize, right? Prize, they're trying to focus on first place. and as many kills as they can possibly get, but you don't want to be too focused on trying to go for team kills, as there's still a lot of players remaining now. Something some people keep note of is how many squads are left. If there is less squads and a wide open map, then the chances of you getting third-partied are lower. But right now, the chances are quite high. Viper Squadron, though, with the charge rifle. I was talking about how we don't see many players playing Sniper.
Yeah.
But Dominus, one of our most successful squads on the Valkyrie, playing it.
Do you think that has to do with because we're in an all PS4 lobby, because we're all PlayStation, and there's something to do with snipers on controllers? I mean, that's not necessarily something that's stopped, but it is unusual considering that snipers are a big part, at least charge rifles, a big part of a Stormpoint meta, and we haven't seen many of them. What do you think that is? Is there something there, or is there something else at play?
Well, I actually do think, and from what I've heard from friends of mine that do play with PlayStation controllers, they say that, hey, they're just not as comfortable with a sniper as they are with an assault rifle. The aim assist isn't as easy, and it's not as easy to fight with that forward to 10x. But hey, take a look at this Twiggy mid-air. Stefan going down, but is this exact? Oh, this isn't what we've seen earlier. Stefan actually ends up going down here, not getting to escape with another Valkyrie healthy.
King Stefan taken down by Twiggy, who, as far as I know, is the only Bangalore in this lobby. Rocking Bangalore, Caustic, and Valkyrie. A really interesting lineup. Provides a lot of utility, movement, individual prowess, but also defense and the ability to make teams wary of pushing you. Hold off squads from taking certain angles or getting too aggressive within your space. A lot of presence can be shown with those Caustic barrels and those Bangalore smokes in tandem. ARS Baguette, our winners of 4-time this Master Circuit, going for a 5th, but it is looking like an uphill battle to say the least. They've got to get back in their rhythm, and that rhythm usually starts with Taylor getting aggressive, being confident, and getting first into those fights, and Obelix and Perry supporting that play so well. Hasn't happened yet. We'll see if it does. TXC still at Fish Farms, finding more KP coming to them, possibly.
Sarah doing her best to just consistently stay at full health. Now that's always important, but what's even more important is trying to get this kill. No, they've gotten away on that gravity cannon, which is so good, and it's so hard to chase on a gravity cannon because once you take it, you get stunned while falling. Not on Horizon though. Horizon's pretty good for that.
Space
but
block.
Still, you're still at the disadvantage in a situation like that. Headshot Dundee. Staying alive. TXC. What are they gonna do? I say they're gonna scan Beacon and figure out that end zone and just play it because they're in such a great position here.
Oh, there it is. Girl, she has the script to how this is gonna go. Can you tell us who's gonna win?
Yeah, TXC.
Oh, wait, hold on. Go, please.
Oh,
not
the whole thing.
Maybe this game?
Maybe this game they're going to win.
That.
They have such a good position, right? It's pulling right towards Fish Farms as I thought it might. XFF, though, not too far away from Fish Farms, taking a lot of damage. Dave in a bad position.
That's bad.
Bad position. Arrows down to 1 HP. Can we get a bubble? No. 22 seconds left. We're going to use the bombardment. It is a defensive bombardment, and hopefully nobody pushes through that. And it doesn't look like that defense is going to work out as Dave ended up going down. Still 10 seconds left for that dome. Going for the fake revive. Very good fake revive with the Havoc spray. Oh, no. Just right around the corner. Look who it is. 90 damage. Can we get this re-knock? No. We overextend and go down. Mr. Namka doing a great job, and there we go. We don't play around, okay? You see us, you better run.
You better run, because guess what? We don't play. They know it.
Oh, I love that.
And they did not play in that fight. That was well taken. Namka, our other Bangalore in the lobby, making good use of the Rolling Thunder.
Oh no.
And the Hemlock. Aim assist Euro doing their best to try to hold this fight off as they get into the action. And that hemlock on the side of Monda is deadly. Ooh, so good. And that's going to be very hard for teams to push around. Giro and Figo, though, coming in too, and they're going to push aim assist Euro. Oh, so now after being the aggressors, they're getting aggressed on this bubble. Oh, please let it last a little bit longer. It's a great dimensional rift, though. And the portal is going to save them, at least for now, and now Figo. And Pizza Lovers are in the same terrible spot that aim assist Euro started to be in with the Wraith. A character from Meta's past, proving just how valuable that dimensional rift can be for a team to get out of dodge.
Oh, yeah, and it was a quick one. 1 second later, and they might have been dead. They might have taken that portal right after them. Giro, 20 HP. Can he get out of line of sight here? Aqua doing a great job for cover fire. That's exactly what you want from your teammate. Oh my goodness, we're almost getting the knock here. Can we do it? We did it! We got the knock, we got the trade. It's a 2v2 situation. Aqua wants to push on this. Aqua's like, hey, if we're gonna do it, we better do it now. We popped the battery. It's a 1v1 around this corner. Get him before the Phoenix kid. This is 2! That is 2 knocks! They are gonna be able to turn this around, and if so, potentially recover the banner as well. There's a respawn beacon just right behind the flatline shots. Incredible. Aqua doing God's work here.
Wow, and getting the banner as well. Unbelievable play from Pizza Lovers. That's the type of play that makes you go, this team is here as a contender for our championship. That was tough. They had to change positions, they had to change opponents, and they still managed to figure it out. ARS Baguette, though, oh my gosh. About the best angle you could have with a car. And gonna make good use of it is Taylor. This is the ARS Baguette we know and we love. We have seen them do this time and time again. But an Arc Star. Oh, who's approaching? Someone with a black hole. Oh, that's the aggressiveness inside, actually, and that is what they're using. All their defensive utility, but you got to make sure that no one else is approaching this fight. That's the horizon down. After using the ultimate, it's going to be a clean wipe for ARS Baguette. Finally, looking a little bit like themselves.
I think they let one get away, but that's going to be okay as long as it was a clean finish. Did they let one? I only see 2
It does look like they let one get away.
Yeah. So I only see 2 death boxes. There could be a recovery potential here. They're looking around to make sure that there's no free kill lying around waiting for them, but they do have a long ways to travel, so that 1 kill won't be too much on their mind. It's not going to be living rent-free in their head as they make it over to the zone. ARS Baguette is back. This is the ARS Baguette we know, like you said. This is what we love to see from them. Taylor getting those angles. They pinched them right in that corner, too. That was perfect. Didn't even need to use grenades here, but there's a little travel distance that they've got to get through, and it's quite far.
Viper Squadron on the move here. And they are in a prime position in Fish Farms to have a contest. Now, this is one of those areas you could play in the zone, which is almost the little cubbies. The little, you know, when you really think of a fish farm and kind of breeding salmon or something like that at a farm, I think of those cubbies as that's where it would happen. I'm not quite exactly sure what to call it, though. But fish cubbies for now is kind of where I lean towards. That's another place to play if you don't have a building. But Viper Squadron, they do. They were just being a little bit more aggressive, seeing what they could take. Remember, they've got that squad that can just be very defensive with the caustic, so buildings work really nicely for them.
And here we have ARS Baguette, so they made it in. They're playing height, and they're going to gatekeep. This could grant them a lot of kills, which could give them the potential to put them back in that top 10 where we like to see them and where they normally belong. Now, if they don't make it, that's okay too, but they do have a great position, and it's looking like a bright future for them. So literally vibing, though. Got a team inside and teams around them now. I'm not sure if this is the best spot because they're pinging out all of the angles they could possibly get shot at, and they don't have a Gibraltar, so if something happens to them, they don't have many places to go.
Literally vibing up on top. A lot of teams around them. Biohazard, head on a swivel. Want to get inside of this? I think they're content up top, but always looking for opportunities. As the zone is closing, it is important to stay super, super aware. It would be a difficult task to try to siege that right now. Koopy, white paint powder. I think this is one of the players who got away. And it's going to continue to run around with this Pathfinder. Still 13 squads left, so this is going to have to be a rat of the century here to really get some points out of it. But even a couple points could mean the difference in prize money and placements. So definitely worth the effort.
Oh yeah, for sure. And speaking of fish farms earlier, could be a cage system put in place. I think in the fishing industry, the aquaculture industry, they call something like that cages, but I'm not sure if we do that in Apex here. Just quick Google got me there. Obelix, oh, with the defensive bombardment, they took down Jerry, so they're getting a few more kills. They're in the kill feed potentially. And ulti comes down from Pizza Lovers now. Has the top opened up? The top should open up fairly soon. Now when you're in here, it doesn't stay closed the whole time. You're gonna see it open up. Now what are they gonna do about that? The defensive bombardment comes down, the dome comes down just to make sure that they don't get shot from up top. Now are they gonna take this gravity lift? Yep, they're gonna do so. And where are they gonna fly to? They see Namka, the solo. They're pinging him. Namka's in danger. Gibby's dropping in on your head. What are you gonna do, Namka? Namka is running.
Oh.
They lost him. Aqua with the little 360 there.
Got a little juked.
Yeah, a little juked. And Namka running, but not running too far.
Oh, Aqua able to take it down. Nice stuff, and now becomes the kill leader. Good stuff for Pizza Lovers. They track down Namka. Bangalore is a tough character to chase. That is not an easy find, yet they end up doing it with all their resources combined. It is Pizza Lovers still alive in our final zone. 10 squads left with ARS Baguette on a much better game for them. Choosing a place to land. Not too many areas to go here. They might be able to fight in one of these cubbies on the right side, and that's where they're going to go. I think you could just hang out here. You're going to get a lot of attention, but you can maybe just hold. You've got a decent bit of cover, and it's very, very aggressive if somebody wants to try to get inside. But look at this. It's Pizza Lovers who see that, and one of the difficulties, too, is if you want to kind of siege this, you have to put yourself on this high ground, and that high ground makes you available in terms of being shot at by so many other angles that it's not really worth pushing inside of those cubbies. So again, one of the reasons they're pretty decent to hold, and that's why ARS Baguette is alive still.
And so much is going down. Finn taking Biohazard down with an Arc Star. Pizza Lovers also in their 3v3 fight. Jiro popping this battery. Might get stunned here. Does indeed, but that battery was perfect timing. Now, this is why sometimes teams opt to pop a battery even when they haven't lost full shield. The reason being is they could take more damage, and then once they get aggressed upon, that shield battery will pop, and it does for Jiro once again. Parry's shooting right into that bubble. They've got to do something because Obelix is going to jump down. Obelix hits his shots. He pops his dome, but not fast enough. It's all up to Taylor.
My God, that bubble saved so much damage that Perry was about to do to this squad, and it is up to Taylor versus Jiro. What can Taylor do? We believe in us! We believe in Taylor! And now the kill leader with a shield swap. Yes!
Yep.
Oh my God, ARS Baguette, the hero of the day, Taylor, he comes to the rescue again and again.
He helped them secure 5th place at least, staying alive. They did end up getting 3rd party, so the recovery is not going to be there. I believe it was a duo that pushed him as well, so Maddie and Eno, they're going to take that from them. Raymond unfortunately goes down, leaving TXT to a duo. Sarah Sutcliffe getting shot and angled through the window. That's what's hard about playing these little rooms with these huge openings into the Mankos, who kind of wants to finish this off playing. That shield is going to be good for them. Amos's Euro is on the other side. They're the ones picking up these kills. the scan is going to go through. So they know that they've got a solo in that room. Manda is going to opt to just loot. They're in a good position. They got that end zone god spot as long as they can hold it.
And with this Gibraltar, Bloodhound, Wraith lineup, questioning what does it mean to be the Seer meta? What does it mean to be in this level of lobby, bringing back one of the old school lineups and doing just as well or better? What a squad lineup we've got here, because Amethyst Euro are still alive. They won game 2. Will they win game 3 back to back? That would set them up for a very nice placement. Even if it isn't first, you certainly know that would most likely look like a top 5 with 3 games gone already. They can do it right here. But they're gonna have to go through Taylor, who is still the solo, and surviving very nicely underneath.
Taylor took down Cheeky. Taylor's in a fight.
Oh, wow.
Did
Taylor
Taylor
got it.
take them both out? Yeah.
Yes. My goodness,
oh my
Taylor.
goodness.
What a solo performance from Taylor. Not only to clutch it up at the very end, but just to find an extra kill. And now it is truly a 3v3 and Taylor. And this one seems to be going so well for the side of Aim Assist Euro. I can't imagine it going better. Taylor's done so much damage to this other squad that Aim Assist Euro essentially have to just make sure that they don't all get themselves so down that Taylor can come in at the very last moment and 1v1 the last player standing.
That would be incredible, and they really need that. Fortunately, though, Taylor went from 5th place, living to 3rd place, which is a significant amount of points, all right, from 4 to 7. Aim Assist Euro, they're playing the inside of the building, so we've got 3 layers to this, which isn't bad for Taylor at all. Aim Assist Euro is going to focus on the trio underneath. Seer might get angled out here. Shots are going to come through. They're not going to do as much damage as Mondo had hoped, and he's going to have to dodge that storm. The storm is hitting so hard, and Taylor's living free up here. Now, we've seen this in our very first qualifiers where Taylor playing on top of the Dragon Ball, and we're seeing this again. Taylor coming back to back, doing what Taylor does best, clutching situations up as a solo, but no, he's going to actually go down. He got pushed, and he got killed by Aim Assist Hero. Now it's just going to be a 3v3 situation. Low ground versus high ground. Who's going to win this?
Oh, you know what? I like the idea. It's all about who pushes together, because low ground could actually have the first shot. High ground is going to have to take a little bit of that damage unless they run staircase. But look at this Watson. There's no ordnance that's going to be able to get through this interception pylon. The gears are turning, and somehow somebody's going to have to get out, start the car. Carlotes on the staircase. Still no damage coming out. Matt's going to swing. Maybe not yet. Carlotes, they're going to swing. They take the bubble, and that's just damage already onto the Watson. This is it. Samamo, beautiful shots on the flat line. It's not enough, though. They lose 1 on the Carlotes, but look at Samamo. Look at the damage that's being done. Dancing in and out. It's Aim Assist Euro, who are the champion again. They go back-to-back in our grand finals.
Incredible win by them. Taking the Taylor out was essential to do so, and then having that Gibraltar, having that dome, it was so useful for them, and they're winning with this, what, Season 5 comp again? Back to back? What are we seeing here?
What are we seeing? I mean, you know, now I'm looking at my Twitter feed. Everyone's saying nerf Bloodhound, nerf Bloodhounds. We don't care about Seer anymore. Get Bloodhound nerfed again. Just kidding. But at the end of the day, that's how things move, you know. Metas change, and what I like about this team, Aim Assist Euro, is they have been involved. They have been a top team. We haven't seen them over the course of some of these weeks, but they're back in our grand finals. They have been waiting, and they're sticking to their guns. It's impressive to see someone who is unequivocally themselves, decides to do it the way they want to do it, and then succeeds over the rest of the lobby, who it's not about being trendy. It's just following what's a lot more current. This is not a current lineup. Wraith, we haven't seen Wraith in competitive play in 6 months, maybe. I mean, it's been a long, long time since Wraith has been viable, ever since really Ash. That's when the Wraith kind of stopped coming in. So what a performance from Aim Assist Euro.
And they almost went down near Shipfall earlier. They used that Wraith portal to get out of a lot of sticky situations, and around here was one of them. The Wraith push, Pizza Lovers came in, and it was a three-way fight almost here. Pizza Lovers ended up coming out on top here, but I want to talk a little bit about Aim Assist Euro. They played that building so well, so slow as well. They could have pushed TXC. TXC, they had one knock, one reviving. They could have pushed them, but they played it slow. They're so focused right now. It's incredible, and I think they want the PS5s the most.
I think PS5, James. I think they heard we can get a PS5. Oh, it's going down. We are not letting our foot off the gas. They certainly haven't. ARS Baguette, though, had a little bit of a bounce back. I think Game 3 gives us that storyline, too. Pizza Lovers performed nicely, but it would be Giroux who would go up against Taylor at the very end after chasing down Namka. And Taylor would do Taylor things, would win that 1v1, and then carry it into a top 5. That was kind of the turning point of this moment for Pizza Lovers, who, you know, in all due respect, if they had finished off as 3 and even gotten this extra little KP, they might have been a team we were talking about in that final circle, but never count this player out right there. Taylor just does it better. And with the car, too. Unlucky Giroux had to switch, ran out of PK ammo.
And he ended up getting that armor swap last second, right? 1 HP, getting into the zone. That granted him a lot of extra points there for his team. Aim Assist Euro with this bubble fight in the end, incredible. And this hip fire by Samamo, taking down 2 in that one spray. Perfect. Bloodhound ending up finishing it off. Take a look at it from this angle here. It's just beautiful. Having that bubble fight now, you'd think, you know, having a Watson being on the low ground, it might have granted them, you know, the advantage. But since Gibby just jumped down, used that bubble, they didn't have that stun effect, and they didn't get shot where they normally would without a Gibby. So having that was essential in that matter. 6 kills,
Yeah.
4 kills to 11 kills. Wow.
2,300 damage for the awesome Monda. That's awesome, Monda. Samamo as well. Carlotes not only contributing with the damage, but the 6 kills, the 6 knocks. What an all-around performance from everyone. And the utility of the Gibraltar bubble. I questioned it earlier. I got to stop questioning it now. I mean, when you talk about lineups, we're getting to the point in Apex where lineups are beginning to give us so much flexibility on what you can play and what will work, because there's just so many characters out there, and it's less about is a character viable, it's more about how does your 3 legends complement each other with the playstyle that's happening in the lobby. And right now, this Wraith Bloodhound Gibraltar playstyle is so effective.
The awesome Monda's got to have one of the best Hemlocks, or the best Hemlock in our lobby, to be honest, because those Hemlock shots were hitting. The amount of damage Monda has created to make an opening has been incredible. Literally vibing, though, we cannot count them out in second place. Biohazard, Cheeky Classic, and Kozu. Pizza Lovers, we're seeing them. They're consistent. They're strong. Unfortunate that they lost that 3v3. Could have granted them maybe a second place right now, but they're not far off. Viper Squadron at 28 total points. PPM did well last game as well at 27. It's a very close game here. We don't play. They're in the top 6, 22 points. Hey, remember, you gotta make top 2, right? So if the 55 points is too high for you to take home, then go for the 36. Go for literally vibing. Go for Pizza Lovers. It is still anyone's game. You can still win a PS5. There is still hope for all of these teams.
There's
for game
hope.
number 4. Yep.
There is hope, and we love that there's hope. All these teams have a chance. Clippers may be the team here that stand out to me. DN, Watson Forever. Scoobs has had a couple of nice moments. Color Bucket, Head Shoot, Dundee, King Stefan. RFS, God Trio, and Koopy Koopy with only 2. That's going to make it very, very difficult for them to climb. But 5 points to their name as well. Savages, team we haven't seen, but Dan and Jerry, they had that nice little 2v3 kind of moment with Thorn already going down. So a lot of promise for that team in terms of team fighting.
And you can always see when a couple teams take those 50-50s off drop, and Scoobs has been landing very close to TXC, one of our higher performing teams. It goes one way or the other, right? One team ends up winning most of the time, and one team ends up losing or ends up running away with little to no loot. And that's Scoobs, right? They've been either getting caught off guard, or they've been flying without the loot that they would want. And in Gale Station, there isn't a beacon there, right? So they don't have the information. They don't have a fast rotation because they're on the corner of the map, and they don't have the best loot in that position. So maybe taking 50-50 straight in Fish Farm is the play. They've tried it. We've seen them craft, but we've seen them get aggressed upon and unfortunately lose those situations. So taking a 50-50 in a grand finals does hurt a lot.
We saw it with Team Liquid in the ALGS Championships. They took it with Dreamfire. They lost 4 games in a row, no points, and it really threw them through the losers bracket. But more importantly, it just lost a lot of their confidence, and I think that was a big deal. When you have 50-50s and it doesn't go your way, that's the number one thing that you lose. It's not just points, it's confidence. And then going back again, you're second-guessing yourself, girl. You're saying, should we do this, should we not? And even if you say, all right, 100%, we're going to do it, you know, block out the noise, let's go, then you lose, then you're like, okay, well, what is really happening here? I tried to psych myself up, and it's still not working. It's a mental game at that point. So definitely, I think they should be doing that VOD trick, checking out at checkpoint. There's a place to land. Nobody's landing. Might want to switch over there to give yourself a little bit of a boost.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. One of the things I love most is getting a safe landing. If I don't get a safe, like, I can perform slightly well in games if I get that safe landing, but if I get that 50-50 too early, I don't know what to do. I'm so nervous. I don't want to be the the first team to die, because 20th place, no points.
No points. Yeah, it is difficult. It is difficult when you have that kind of pressure on you, especially when you know you're fighting so early. But that's kind of like the thing with Apex. It's tough because typically you'd think that there would be such chaos. I wonder what the conversation is, because we're not as tapped into the PlayStation tournaments, you know, conversations around Twitter or on Discord or things like that. You know, how they're coordinating these things. Are they coordinating drop spots? Are they just aware of where they're dropping? Is there just respect being given through some of the qualifying tournaments? It'd be interesting to get some information from these players as to how they're kind of figuring this out.
Yeah, from some of our teams that have been here for most of the weeks, we see them landing in the same spot. And honestly, we've seen Scoobs and TXC fight before, and I don't know what it is. Maybe they have a little bit of a rivalry. We've seen the 50-50s happen in the wall as well, one of our most popular spots. But why doesn't anyone like Checkpoint? I think it's one of the worst places to 50-50, but it's not one of the worst places to
land.
To loot. Yeah.
Well, maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're just worried about a 50-50, and they're like, if we're gonna maybe see someone, we'd rather do it in a different place. But yeah, Checkpoint, I mean, there's a lot of different reasons. I remember start of season and start of Stormpoint, NRG's claiming Checkpoint. Seems like a spot that people like. It's relatively central. I think also there is something about the way Stormpoint leans. Maybe southern circles, maybe eastern circles, maybe the west side is not as prioritized. Maybe it's just too much in the thick of things. You don't have as many good outlets. You can't like take the outside like on a lightning rod landing where you can kind of go water side, not run into anybody if you want to make it down to Fish Farms. You know, Checkpoint, you kind of have to bump into someone along the way because everyone's landing north pad, down beast, mill, wall. So I don't know, maybe that's why.
Yeah, maybe they think there are people landing there when they're not. That definitely could be, but Checkpoint, this game does not have beacon, does not have crafting, but still, it has those spiders. You could get loot off of them. You could fight them relatively early without getting third-partied. But yeah, Thunderwatch, High Point, both free as well. Typically, Stormcatcher team does end up going Thunderwatch, but actually, take a look at this. Stormcatcher team's taking Command Center. We're going to see some 50-50s. Oh, somebody took your advice and my advice, and they went Checkpoint. Love to see it. Oh, that's our duo, and that's Ferreira. Ferreira's playing Pathfinder. I was super excited to see that. I didn't mention it. So we've got Ferreira on the Pathfinder. Shout out to all the Pathfinder mains in chat right now. And we've also got Color Bucket back on Pathfinder as well.
Oh,
Happy to see a couple of Pathy mains. Pathfinder is actually decent on this map. It's just once you get into those... Oh, Color Bucket's down already. Until you get into those close fights, it's relatively hard. Where did Color Bucket fall? I'm not 100% sure, but... Oh, I think it was in Cenote Cave, yep, to Aqua there.
Yep, they've got a little bit of a Cenote Cave, 50-50 going on between Pizza Lovers and Color Bucket and Co. Scoops. And that is not a team I'd want to fight right now. Pizza Lovers on a good run so far today in our Apex Legends tournament. And definitely deserve the points they've got.
Medkit here.
Just going to be ratting it out right now. And trying to loot on the southern side of Cenote Cave, I guess. Trying to get a little bit of loot before heading into it. Not going to be happy with only the white shield still.
Hostile right here.
We'll love a blue if they can find one, but it may not be in the cards today. And still tension in the lobby as they maybe just expect. Pizza Lovers might be heading towards them, and they are right to expect it. Pizza Lovers very, very close to King Stefan. They see him now. Head shoot doing Dundee, forcing an Arc Star to go. Trying to cut off the path. Brings out the Spitfire. Still a couple of rocks in the way. Ready to shoot. You can tell Head shoot Dundee looks like it's going to be the very first victim. And going to force into the Wraith. So playing the Wraith again as well. But yeah, this is Pizza Lovers on the hunt.
Yeah, and it looks like they're catching up. Dundee's not going to have a phase anymore. It's going to be on cooldown, so he's going to have to fight, and he is going to turn this one around. He is going to go down, though, first. He's not going to be able to output as much damage as could have hoped. Pizza Lovers picking themselves up 2 free kill points.
I mean, and that's a lot.
Partied. Yeah, it is. That's 2 whole points on the entire leaderboard, right? And we saw that second place and third place weren't even far off. So it definitely could change the outcome of how much money that they're going to get. And a reminder to the folks at home, each team at least, even if you're last place, each team has qualified to be here. So each team is going to at least pick up $150. So it's not a bad day.
No. 9th through 16th is going to get 300. 5th through 8th is going to get 600. So that starts to get into where you're talking about like our Master Circuit Slay Days, where you get that 200 per player. That's a first place, and that's just 5th through 8th. 3rd and 4th, 975, so 325 per player. And then 2nd and 1st, not only are you getting 1,200 and 1,500, 400 and 500 per player, but you're getting 1 PS5 per player. So it just gets better and better. But 5th through 8th, I mean, that's like winning one of our Slay Days. So coming in that position in our lobby, just top 8, gets you that type of prizing, which is great.
Wonderful opportunity for a lot of these players, and I'm sure they're super excited to be here and to do their absolute best. And not only do they get prizes and money, they have the chance to be on the broadcast, to prove themselves, to play in these tournaments, and potentially one day join these $1 million tournaments. So it's great. They get the opportunity to have experience with other like-minded people and with other really good players. 16 squads left. Viper Squadron ended up winning a fight. That's great for them. They're in our top 5. RFS, our duo. And we've seen duos perform well. They're actually going to be aggressive here, and they're going to come out with the missiles, forcing the other team to jump out away. Are these shots going to connect? They are. They actually get a free crack.
Take the pad.
And they're going to take the pad. The grapple might come in for the close up, and it is. That's why you like Pathfinder. Can we hit these shots, though? We're hitting 18 flash, but can we hit a little bit more? 14 flash. It's not going to be enough. It's going to be extremely hard to connect something like this. I think I heard a no right there. Oh, no. Another team. Francis. Oh, no. Run, Francis, run. 16 squads left, and Francis is getting chased. A little bit cracked here, but we do have our ultimate ability, which we could fly into the air and get ourselves into a safe spot if Clippers aren't too close, which they aren't. Take a look at that. They're have not been able to close the gap. And they're just going to be on their merry way into the zone. Good for our duos. They all survived out of the hands of Clippers. But Clippers do need these skill points. They need something. They're looking for something. They're hungry.
This might just be the way the Clippers need to play it.
Yep.
And they are familiar with getting into these late game zones. They have not done as many of those as I think they would have liked. They pioneered the Newcastle earlier on in the season, as Newcastle was one of the... It was the only new legend that came out during our Master Circuit tenure of about 2 months, and they used it to quite good effect. Have dropped it now for the Valkyrie, Seer, and the Watson combination that they're running today. But the potential is definitely there. Will TXC follow suit? They're right on the heels of Clippers. And that could be a problem for them, a big one, because looks like TXC does not want to quit here.
Oh, they're closing the gap, and I don't know if Clippers know that. Ferreira goes down. And take a look at this. The one clip. Nope, not quite yet. They get help. Raymond takes the stereo down. Now it's a 3v2. They have this year ultimates on both teams. Yep. But they have a numbers advantage on TXC. Raymond's going in without Finn, though. Finn is nowhere to be seen inside of this fight. Sarah Sutcliffe playing her angles very far. Scared to get into that ultimate. Raymond staying alive, getting scanned. Almost getting an arc start now. An arc start could change this around in a 3v2 situation as long as one of them connects. Unfortunately, nothing is connecting. TXC is a 3-player team below, and they've got eyes on the Clippers.
So they're going to use a gravity lift. This is the benefit of the Horizon and the fact that you can get up as a team. It's not going to be enough. And it will be enough for just 1 KP, though, and that puts Clippers in a bad spot. Was it the Watson that they got? Clearly not the Valkyrie, we know that. But did they make it out with the Valkyrie Seer or the Valkyrie Watson? That will be a question.
Oh, they're getting chased. Take a look at the map. Top right of your corner.
Yeah. Oh no.
Clippers.
That's ARS.
Yes, ARS Baguette doing what they do, finding a team on the edge of Storm, and they're not even going to take their chances. They're actually going to pop the EMP, but unfortunately, they weren't able to get anything out of that, and they're going to pop these ultimate excels and try this again, but right near a gravity cannon, they probably didn't even think about that being used. Yeah, they had
that was a nice escape.
It was a very nice escape.
It's perfectly planned, perfectly timing. So 2 near-death experiences for Clippers. They make it out of both of them. A lot of resources wasted to try to get them. You never know. It's games like that that turn around, excuse me, sometimes catch you by surprise, and you end up getting into a good spot.
You do. The end. They're playing in Cenote Cave very late now. Dave going into the air on the gravity lift. This is what happens when you stand still against a gravity lift. Astro going down. It's all up to Official and Ma. Official goes down quite fast. Dave's PK is hitting, and it's hitting hard. Here we are. AXFF are back in town, taking down another squad.
And with Phoenix Kit perfectly utilized. That's exactly how you want to use the Phoenix Kit right there. After a big fight, got about 25 health, boom. Very efficient med when you got a lot to put back in the tank. When you need a full fill up. Right now, King Stefan just needs his team. That's all. Trying to run. Find his group. But maybe too late. Obviously looting here. TXC. What?
You think we're ever gonna get a legend that spawns some pets? You know how like
ooh, yeah,
summon...
like a necromancer, like a hunter or something like that.
Exactly. That'll help a lot of these duos or solos.
Yeah. He's a solo, but here comes his 3 dogs that attack for 100 damage and 100 shield. Oh my god. This is incredible. That's what they meant by the hunted, you know? It's going to be 2 bats for our new legend coming out. in Apex. If you haven't seen the trailer, it's a little bit of a stories from the Outland that came out. Pretty cool stuff. I actually watched it this morning because after a long day of work the day before, was not going to wake up at 8 a.m., unfortunately, to watch that premiere. So I had to catch it at a time I could really enjoy it. And that was right before this broadcast. If you haven't seen it, let us know your thoughts in the chat. Big action here happening, ARS Baguette on the high ground. And they are staying there for all the Gibraltar shields and exhibits. They couldn't get them out.
Let's go here.
Kayla survived with 1 health and a shield battery, so that was definitely a close fight, I think, with PXC. They're looking around, making sure they're not getting flanked. They're on the high ground, and this is a great building to play. I tried playing this in a tournament the other day, and we got pushed and we died. But
wait, I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say that because I casted that.
Oh yeah, you casted that.
I did.
Yeah. So wait, so you watched me die live on broadcast?
I did watch you die live on broadcast.
Thanks for letting me know. Thanks for bringing up these awful memories that I've had, and yeah.
It makes you stronger. It only makes you stronger, right?
Yep, it does. Losing makes you stronger. You heard that here, folks. So if you got 20th place in any of your tournaments recently, you know Randy's got your back. It makes you stronger.
Girl's like, well, I must be really strong at this point.
I'm really strong. I got thick skin over here.
The strongest of all. That is right. No, that was really, really funny. What were you saying about the building, though?
I was going to say it's a great building to be in because you can fly right over. Like, you want this building because you could just rotate easily from here on over, but it doesn't look like they're going to be in even for a second longer, so they're going to have to rotate anyways. Pizza lovers, though, Horizon Ultimate, Duro, popping the shield battery mid-air. Not a bad place to pop it as long as you can get it off. Aqua, no, 20 HP. We need help here. The Rampage, the R9, doing work. Duro
totally
doing
lost.
work. But we've got a Mastiff.
No idea where the enemy is.
We're getting a revive off, though, so that's really important. Prowler's coming in to ruin the day. I actually remember when this map first came out, I was playing ranked, and I was the last one alive. We got third partied, I think, and a Prowler jumped across my screen, hit me, and killed me.
Oh, no.
That popped off on Twitter back in the day, but that was a sad moment for sure.
Another moment you got stronger, girl.
I'm really strong. I play a lot.
Really strong. How many of you are really strong in chat, huh? Playing some pubs, if you have one of those days where you just get really strong, just killed off drop every single time you land for about 6 hours in a row. I bet we have some really strong players in chat right now. Obviously, it happens to the best of us. But right now, there are a few teams that have avoided that in our competition. Pizza Lovers have been one of them. And Aim Assist Euro have been the one who have won back-to-back. I believe they're still alive here now with a chance to do it again. Spotted over there. And that would really cement first place in my eyes for them if they could do that. Especially in Game 4, just running out of time for people to check up. And they are alive, so is TXC. So it's kind of go time here, girl. 4th game, 13 squads left. Round 3 about to close. Halfway through our first of our second half of the day. But oh, look at this AXFF team. Gets caught out, throws the bubble too late. You could just hide behind that corner, use that Phoenix battery. Don't necessarily have to waste the bubble there. Because now you don't have it for about 26 seconds, and that is going to be a bummer. 30 seconds. Man, did they increase that respawn time of that? That is a long time to go without a bubble.
It sure is, and they don't have a Valkyrie, so they're actually going to have to walk in with no bubble. Not going to look good for them. TXC on the down Bs. There is another team, though, there. They might have to play the low ground of this. Look at Atomic, and they know it, too. They know there's a squad right across from them. Could be a struggle playing here. I don't know if they want to push or sit still. Atomic is solo, in fact, so if they do push, would be beneficial. Take a look at Dan and Jerry on top. Maddie and Pao inside the building, I think as a duo. They have a fence line to play near down beast. Savage Elmo in one of the best positions considering late game pulls out that way. Yeah, so if they have a Watson in there, that would be perfect so they don't get naded out. If they don't have a Watson, it's going to be a little tough if they get pinched. Let's take a look. Stefan ratting, not getting caught ratting as well. ARS Baguette, they're still here? They're still in it? So they're about to be in 50-50, 106 damage coming in from Taylor right off the bat. And take a look at that. Oh! He found Stefan!
Solo?
He found Stefan!
Wow.
Stefan is dead. How did they find him? Did he get scanned by the drone last second? I was gonna say Taylor normally pushes off that damage, but it must have been a communication like, hey there's a solo behind us. Let's get him. And they still managed to do so much damage here on that other team. They gotta make a decision. Yeah, they do, but they gotta make a decision. This is round 4 coming in, 33 seconds. They're not in on this side at all. Taylor might have ultimate, but there's almost no safe place to land.
This down beast team is gonna have to move too, and so it's interesting because everyone is gonna have to be almost going the exact same route. There's like maybe 5 teams who are sitting in the direction of the choke point and the down beast and in between that will have to collapse upon each other. Twiggy and Savage Elmo sitting in a really nice spot. You mentioned God spot kind of there for them. ARS Baguette, they've got aim towards it. So I guess as they moved in a little faster, I like that you said they have to make a decision now because they did. And they've kind of got plenty of space to work with now. That down beast team is going to be late to the party. They're going to have to get off. And you could see ARS Baguette already trying to maybe make a move, just establishing presence into one of these buildings. As they all know, they're going to have to rotate towards the northeast.
Savages might end up fighting here. Got pair. Oh no, that jump pad actually got him killed. That's Finn. TXC is still alive. They found their way here. Where are they? Last Dave's here in the action. Dave going down. No, Dan still alive, playing the edge. But in an incredibly hard position to play. Raymond coming in. TXC is still alive. For the time being, Savages, Dan taking so much damage from the fence. And the gravity lift and the black hole doing its work. Raymond, TXC. So they're going to take this down B side. This is incredible. The cleanup was perfectly timed. TXC with another KP. This is hectic. They took out Sarah Sutcliffe. 5 kills.
Wow.
Kill leader.
Huge move from TXC. They go from the bottom of the down beast. They go right into the lab that was studying it to finish off a couple of kills and become kill leader of this lobby. ARS Baguette make a smooth move though. And they go to the far back side of this. Basically on that northeast side. And hug this building. And so they're still not in, but they have no one to their back. Neither does TXC. Except that maybe the problem is TXC have so much open space to potentially start to cover. But did that zone, where is that? Are they in? Are they close to in? TXC. They are. They're really close. But I think they're going to have to give up that wall. And so now what do you do, girl? Knowing you're going to have to abandon it. Do you wait? Do you make your move now and try to play somehow on the outside of where Savage Elmo is sitting pretty?
I'm not 100% sure what kind of cover they have. I did see a couple rocks down below, but I don't know the height of those rocks. Sarah Sutcliffe doesn't seem to be bothered by their position. I think they've pinged out some positions that they might end up playing.
Oh my gosh!
191, making the
Are you serious?
He always does. Elmo, they want this spot. This is a phenomenal spot to play, but they still can play the outside. They did not have to play inside.
Oh my God!
Elmo, Dominus going down, and they're gonna take more. They want more. This is TXC 3v3 situation. Taylor being as aggressive as he possibly can. Sarah getting out there alive. Taylor is going to have to go back, play this one safe. It's going to heal up. The defensive bombardment coming down. TXC all playing right on top of each other. Now they've got them pinched.
Now they need swaps and shields, though. TXC Raymond has the Mastiff. Decent damage, but can't do enough with it. Oh, my God. Taylor's just absolutely destroying. Oblix picks up another one with the Mastiff as well. And ARS Baguette are back on top after 2-3 games not climbing the mountain. They plant their flag at the top of Storm Point here in Game 4.
Wonderfully done! That's what we like to see here. The Apex Legends Masters Circuit ARS is back. A wonderful win. That's exactly what we've been talking about. That's exactly what they do. They pinch teams. That was a very clean wipe on Elmo and Squad inside. And then they pinched TXC. TXC actually had a Mastiff. They had a huge advantageous gun in their hands in a 3v3 situation, but unfortunately Taylor coming in from behind, they had them pinched inside. They took multiple different angles to win that one out, and it was beautiful. How many kills did they end up getting? Because we've seen them in a few team wipes, so this will put them back up top. Not up top, but around up top.
They were hanging out. I think we were, 52 points? It was like the top of our leaderboard right now, and then we ended up having TXC around, or excuse me, ARS around 22, so a 20-plus bomb, that's getting them around 44. They're going to be hanging. If they do this again in Game 5, they could be vying for first place again. Obviously, 2 wins is going to put you in a great position here. And it's also one of the things, too, that you counted out. They were so good. They look like themselves, as we have some highlights from Game 1. Or excuse me, Game 4 here, playing back for us. They looked like themselves, finally, girl, in that final fight.
Oh, 100%. And catching that solo behind them, too, that was crucial. If that solo ended up getting behind them and ruining their game, could have been bad. But they made the decision to rotate on the right as well. Don't know how they rotated in all that open field, but they did it. DN, they had this fight here in Cenote Cave really late. The Astro, okay, this is what you got to think about. If there is a gravity lift, you never stand still and shoot. You almost can never. I do it all the time, and I always get killed. So I know from experience. Okay, Rain Day, I know from experience.
Already pulling you, making you move slow. You're gonna add your movement speed penalty with your ADS on your weapon. I mean, that's just gonna be a recipe for disaster for sure. Right here, though, this is Taylor spotting out King Stefan, who was holding down that angle, trying to sneak by as a rat and getting some placement points. Not on my watch. And TXC would go ahead and a massive cleanup here. Sarah would find 2 more kills than Raymond, who had 4. So that's going to be at least 10 kills for TXC. And that's going to mean they have a massive game, too. ARS Baguette, though, would be the story. Look at this angle. Savage Elmo thinks, I'm safe here, right? Not at all. Not with Taylor on the prowl. And this would just show it all. The Mastiffs was singing. Unfortunately, just not on the side of TXC Raymond. It was Obelix, who also had a Mastiff, that came in on the backside and just absolutely destroyed in this fight.
Yeah, look at that. Taking those angles. Taylor, they all just took time to get in there. They knew that TXC was low, and it was a close fight. Take a look at that. Maybe the 70, 80 HP difference. So it was well played by both of the teams, but ARS Baguette ended up on top there. They did have a few kills, but I think TXC might have beat them in the amount of kills, if you're correct there.
Yeah, I think they did beat them in kills. I mean, you look at 8. I know they have more than 8. And so that could mean that TXC ended up coming out on top after the points were tallied for this game, which would be massive. It could still be a 1 advantage, though. We'll wait for the standings to show up for us to talk about that. But a good performance from ARS Baguette, who are your winners of Game 4. So now starting to look a lot more familiar to those who have watched most of our Masters circuit. ARS Baguette back on top. And what does it mean? Ooh, look at this.
Wow, 3-point difference.
Wow, and a 1-point difference between a PS5 and not. That is literally vibing in Viper Squadron. Oh my goodness. Amos Euro still looking great with those 2 wins, a 16-point cushion. But my goodness, talk about a close race for second and PS5s. This is getting good.
Very close race. So 38 to 43. That's Pizza Lovers to second. That's PS5 or just PS4, you know? We know they've got the PS4s, but that's just incredibly tight for so many teams. And even our teams with the 20s, right? They can still make it. They can still make a comeback as long as they get a big game this next game. Now we're closing down. We've got 2 games left. it's going to be quite hard. It's definitely hard for these teams to catch up to that PS5 mark, but they still have the money to play for, they still have the experience to play for, and they still have their pride to play for. And if you're a competitive player, you're never going to be giving up until the very last second.
Yeah, and this is what you want to see. If you're interested in these stories, these players, and Apex Legends on the PlayStation Tournament's Master Circuit and all PlayStation, check out our new show called Dropping In. Also, if you want to make sure that you check out all the tournaments happening, go to compete.playstation.com. We'll have all the information on that as well. All those two things, great reminders for them. We'll talk about them at the end of the show as well. But for now, we are about to take a break, my friends. Game 5 is coming up, and with that, we will go into our final games to decide who wins our grand finals. After 2 months of work, who will be crowned champion of your PlayStation Tournament's Apex Legends Master Circuit? Stay tuned and find out.
They put him down! Silence him! Welcome to the home of PlayStation Tournament's Apex Legends Esports. Get ready for all the Apex content you need to improve your game and win prizes in fast-paced, easy-to-join competitions. Look forward to exciting content to get you competition ready, including a monthly live show hosted by me, Rainday, where we'll discuss the latest in Apex, chat with some huge guests, recap the PlayStation tournaments, and much, much more.
So far, so good.
Videos that feature breakdowns, tips, and exciting interviews. And in-depth articles featuring news, ways to improve your game, and conversations with competition winners and esports insiders. So, like, follow, and subscribe for Apex Legends content. And visit the PlayStation Tournament's website, compete.playstation.com, to sign up for competitions.
PlayStation.
can't believe that this is coming to an end. It is the penultimate game of all of Europe's PlayStation tournaments, Apex Legends Master Circuit, and we are here to call the action for all these players who are working hard all month and all day to earn themselves thousands of dollars and PS5s. Girl, I'm here, Rain Day, and girl, this is the moments we've been waiting for. All these 2 months leading up to this, Game 5 and 6 will determine it all.
Yeah, and it hasn't been this close to get a PS5 ever in history. All right, just a few points away from a PS5, and we've got 2 games left to go. ARS Baguette making the biggest comeback of their entire Apex Legends Master Circuit series. All right, Amethyst Euro picking up a back-to-back win. Incredible. They're at 59 points. They seem to be in the safe zone, but hey, if they drop 2 goose eggs, you never know what will happen, right? So they got to keep it up. They got to keep up that placement, ultimately, keeping themselves up there. Twiggy, Dominus, Savage Elmo, they're doing great. Viper Squadron, they currently have the PS5 in their hand, but do they drop it? Do they drop it? Does it slip out and fall into someone else's hand? We're about to find out. We're almost in game number 5.
I feel like we're just so excited being this close to someone who's getting a PS5. Like, just 1 degree removed of a relationship, just like the PS5. The PS5. We are just in awe. We are so excited. And I am ecstatic and enthralled about the opportunities we're going to see some of these teams have here to make a name for themselves. It is not every day you're fighting for a great prize, a seriously great prize, but just the bragging rights and more of the self-accomplishment of going through this journey and making it to the very end. Even to get here, girl, for those watching, you know, it wasn't just, we said every 10 teams qualify, right, for the grand finals. Well, we kept qualifying 10, 10, 10, 10. So that's like 40 teams. So where do these teams go? They're not in this lobby. They had to play before, and they had to qualify from that qualifier to get into this lobby today. So the hard work has been going on behind the scenes for all of these tournaments. And just a hats off to the players who have made it this far. You got to be proud with no matter where you end up. You just hope you're proud and playing a PS5 later on.
Hey, back in my day, we had to stand outside in line for hours to snatch a PlayStation, right? But these players, they just need to bring in their talent, their skills, their determination, and keeping up with a lot of other players, right? So they might be able to pick one up today. You never know who's going to do it. So keep staying tuned. We're going to find out. Savages playing Octane. There's some Octanes. We have Elmo on Caustic. Was Elmo always on Caustic?
Yeah, I think they've been playing that Bang Caustic Valk, and it's a really nice little defensive utility option for them. I remember talking a little bit about it, but you probably weren't listening to me, girl.
Well, there's so many teams to, you know, keep wary of. There's a lot of teams that we're watching. There's a lot of different compositions here today. Okay, we've got the Horizon, Seer, Gibraltar. We have the Crypto, Gibraltar, Falc. We have
I made a really special point about it, okay? Just say you're not listening. Be honest for once. Jeez.
Well, when was it?
She's trying to, you know what? When was it? I don't know when it was, okay? It wasn't that important.
So you don't even remember what you spoke about when you spoke about it?
I remember the building. What do you want me to call out the minute? I'm not keeping track like that.
Point out the building for me, and then
I'll point out the building next time they were in it when I was talking about it. How about that?
All right. Well,
it was in Fish Farms. I think they were in Fish Farms, and they were holding down one of those buildings. You know, this isn't important, guys. You know, you don't need to get involved in our little arguments here. We're gonna have a good time, though.
That's because you're wrong, and you're making this up live on broadcast. We've got VOD.
We've got VOD review. Okay. All right, VOD review this. Take later 3 hours, comb through it all, and let me know if I was right or wrong. We'll see who really wins.
I think you win.
Thanks,
I think
girl.
you win. I'll let you win.
All right, thank you. I appreciate
Let
it.
you.
Let you. Okay, all right. Thank you. I appreciate that. You're too kind. Don't want to ever get in a full battle with girl. It's a tough one.
1v1 me. 1v1 me.
I've 1v1'd you before. We've actually done that. Wow, you don't remember that either? Chat, help me out here.
It probably was too easy.
Oh, my.
Oh.
The disrespect that flows so easily from you to me.
I'm
We got to
sorry.
talk about this.
We can talk about this
We
later.
got to do some, some friendship counseling here. This isn't working.
Oh no, I'm so sad.
Yeah, she's sad. Yeah. Okay. Well, I've been griefed a little bit at the beginning of this game. Luckily, we haven't seen that happen for too many other teams. There are, however, 17 squads right now, so maybe we have seen some 50-50. We haven't caught it on camera, but definitely been a rough start. Looks like Giroud, Figo, maybe on the bottom side of Cenote Cave, handled Scoobs faster than usual. Or did Scoobs find another place to land? That's the question.
I think they found another place to land. But where's TXT? So TXT actually ended up opting for Launchpad instead of Fish Farms this game. They have a very good rotation, but I'm not sure if they scanned any beacon nearby. So they might be doing that now. We're headed to one. Good rotation for them. And also ARS Baguette. They had beacon. They had crafting. They're going to get a good rotation here for the southern zone. It's going to be easy, as we said earlier, from Lightning Rod. Clippers at the wall. They're going to be crafting it up. Take a look at TXE. Is there a beacon nearby? No. They really didn't have a beacon anywhere nearby. They didn't scan at all. So they're going to be upset about that one. And what do you do, right? You're in zone. You don't have to run away to a beacon and leave zone to scan one. And everyone's going to be coming towards you. Everyone's rotating towards you. There's Scoobs. We talked about it. Checkpoint. They're alive. They decided maybe fight here sooner or later. R301 gets picked up. Headshot Dundee. Down to 10 HP. Stefan, you're going to have to cover for your teammates.
Yeah, there's something happening here.
Unfortunate. No cover fire. Astro gets the free kill. They don't get the trade. Color Bucket is going to have to run as well.
It feels like maybe that's a communication issue, right? Because you can't see it, but you could feel it because there's just indecision all around the play and the movement from King Stefan. And Stefan just trying to play this one safe.
Yep.
And that tends to be the way it goes. Let me get out of there. And I appreciate at least just deciding. Not sure if there were calls for help. And Stefan said, I can't really do much here. Or if the team was saying, go. And Stefan was like, let me get in. Either way, they came to the conclusion, play your life. As DN picks up a couple of kills. TMT official, Gioma Ita, and is Astro on the board.
Yeah, so that's what happens when you are overlooting and you split from your team for just 1 second. Like, we just picked up our 301 and then poof, one of our teammates are down. So that's the importance of sticking together, especially when taking a zipline like that where you know there's a potential of a team being right above you. You got to triple take that, or you got to be ready for when your team drops to shoot as they land. If you don't do anything, oh no, take a look at this. DN used Valkyrie ulti, know where Stefan is. They're going to try and shoot. The alternator's not going to hit that much or at all. Stefan's going to stay alive, but with no team. That's the sad thing about it. It's just so hard to recover a teammate's banner. Like, what's the point of banner recovery if we can't get them ever when they're getting banner camp? Give us another option, all right? Apex Legends, please give us another option.
What do you suggest? Because obviously you've got the crypto drone. Loba can get
Loba
banners.
Shot,
That's an ult. That would actually make Loba a lot more viable.
Yes.
I mean, you'd still have to be within the range, right, of the banner.
Yeah.
So there's something there. It's a little bit of counterplay, or at least like high risk reward.
Or we could increase the timer.
You could increase the banner timer as well. I wonder what that would mean, though. You know, you'd have players all around the map sticking out around an extra minute or so, potentially. Would it slow things down? You know, there's a natural ebb and flow to a game pace. you have to consider designing. Just playing devil's advocate here, looking at both sides of it, because this is how these decisions are made, you know?
Yeah.
Everyone's looking at pros and cons, and what does that do? What is it? Does that increase the game? Does that hurt things? Is that sometimes a very delicate flow? Apex known to take a lot of weapons out, especially when they're adding new weapons in, and that's why we have the replicator, and we have things like hop-ups that go out of rotation, because you have a limited amount of loot so that the pace and flow of the game and looting can actually feel functional and like it crescendos the way that it needs to for the early to late game. If you have too many weapons, it can feel clunky. You can also feel like you're getting a lack of a variety of weapons based on the spawn rates and the potential of one game, to where you just, all these weapons are up, you get no R301s. It's just a ton of alternators and Spitfires, and you know, they want that kind of natural variety as well as absence and some rarity to some of these good guns. And it's a delicate balance for sure. And you also don't want to just look for a weapon and only find a tray of hop-ups. So I think there's a lot to be said about what Apex does. And it's always an interesting, you know, fascinating thing for me on the backside of things, having worked at a game studio for several years and kind of bringing that information with me. I think it's a lot of stuff is like, it goes over viewers' heads, it goes over players' heads. It's just good stuff to keep in mind. You know, how intricate the systems are for a game like this to be successful and for everyone to feel like they're having, for the most part, a really good time playing the game.
Yeah, for sure. And the Viper Squadron, they're not going to go over Fest, you said. Festy ends up going down there. But you're absolutely right. There's pros and cons to everything that they add or take out of Apex. And the developers are doing a decent job. Yeah, a real decent job. Because the game is super fun.
Job.
Yeah, decent job. So we definitely got to give them credit for that. But I would like to plead my case for at least faster pickup banner rates. You know, my arm, you know, reaches out for that banner, grabs it, and goes. Doesn't need to take me 2 whole seconds where I can't shoot my gun after I pick up that banner. Okay, Rain Day, what do you got for that?
So it's just the delay. I get it. It's a little bit of a clunky banner pickup. You know, that's something that they could look at, because there's a balancing element to that as well.
Yeah.
And
Over here.
you know, I wonder, you know, sometimes you look at these things that were in the game, as we have 15 squads left here, but continuing this brief aside, you look at things that have been in a game like Apex, and they've continued to be in the game, and 10 seasons later, they start getting questioned. But for 7, 8 seasons, they've worked really, really well. And you have to go with your gut, and you have to also do some really deep thinking on, is this true? Because it's worked really well for 8 seasons. Is this something that, because everything's working well, we're just finding one small thing to think of now to concern ourselves with? Or have we not thought about it? And we're focusing on big picture things and big ideas like finding kills from Viper Squadron. But unfortunately not able to get that. There's a team really close by though, so they're gonna have to be very, very careful. Savage, Elmo, Twiggy, and Dominus. You know, playing that Caustic Bangalore, like I had mentioned, girl.
Yes, many times.
Many times, yeah.
And it's working great, the double defense, as you said multiple times earlier today. And they've got the great aim to go along with it, the great loot. It's just always looking good for this team as they play edge. Doing okay. On the other side, I hear a lot of noise here. ARS Baguette. Ultimate comes through. They're looking for angles to take inside of this building, but they don't know what to do with this whole Seer ultimate. Don't want to take too much aggression until it dissipates. So I think they're trying to wait this out. Taylor doing his best. Staying alive. No! He gets third-partied from behind. That's the Mama with the flatline. Taylor's going down, and this is what we seen in the beginning of this tournament. Exactly that. Exactly the same thing happening again. They try and pinch a team, and they get third-partied, focused, and killed. Oh, no.
And it is Clippers. The only benefit here is that Perry is on the crypto and has already gotten it. And that is what they have done so well, even though they've lost one. The fact that Taylor's been the aggressive one can kind of grab that attention. Perry was the one who got caught earlier on, and that is the difference here. So ARS Baguette down but not out. Savage Elmo the last one alive for Viper Squadron, who are in that top 5. In fact, they might have the PS5 right now in their hands. You said, are they going to let it slip? Well, it seems like they're stumbling on a rock. They've tripped. They're losing their balance. Can they recover is the question. And it seems like there might be an opportunity with that skyward dive, actually giving Savage Elmo a decent chance. 18 seconds left. He's going to have to go through the zone. 17 to really find out if he can go ahead and recover it. It would be a huge deal with only 10 seconds now. 15, excuse me, to be able to get the Bangalore. And yes, it's going to happen. With 10 seconds left to spare, Viper Squadron has picked up their remaining players, and they're going to be able to go ahead and recover this last banner and get to a respawn beacon.
There's just one thing stopping them from getting a full recovery, and that's this duo. That duo might be crafting med kits. He died right on a crafter. Something Elmo could do is just go for a revive. Oh, I think that duo is actually getting a revive themselves, so that's not going to be good. They're going to have to play this one out as a duo. TXC, though, picking themselves up 2 kills. Very good for the leaderboards. Still in launch pad, still in a great position. They were unaware of where the zone was pulling. As we talked about earlier, they didn't have the beacon to scan, but they did have a spot in zone. Now, it's not going to pull directly on top of them on this height, but they are still in zone, and they're very comfortable in their position, and they can valk out very far from where they're at. Eras Baguette, Taylor still not delivered to a beacon. They see an enemy nearby, actually in the zone with them. They're unsure of what to do. They have 1 minute and 50 seconds to get the revive, to get some loot, and to go to zone. Where do they decide to get that revive? It's very important, and how fast they get that revive is also very important. See Stereo taking down Dan taking down Cheka. See Stereo winning the fight. They kill Dan, Miss Thorne, and Jerry. So the Clippers coming back. It's a little bit of a clutch there. Oh, take a look at that. Obelix and Perry are really close. If they came in and wiped them, that'd be really good loot.
It certainly would be. They've just got a lot to do. Obelix and Perry trying to get Taylor back. Clippers already pretty much stabilized. There is a very interesting team called Aim Assist Euro, though, who are on that left side, just above the eastern ridge. If Clippers continue on the route that they're going, we will see a clash of Titans there. As DN find yet another kill on Anamka. It's a decent game for them. They get at least 3 to 4 kills. And they're in 12 squads left for DN. So rising up from the back half of this lobby. Everyone gets some prizing today. But the fact that they're able to have a performance like this, looking like a potential top 10. That's a strong start. Big game here as well. It's going to push you well up into the leaderboards. And DN look prepared for that. ARS Baguette are back in action with 30 players left, 11 squads in round 3. 4 minutes from closing. Here we are in game 5. Take a look at our circle. It's on launch pad, but it's going to end south of launch pad. Right now, the solo Profin has found his way in there. And it is Geoma. Ita is Astro, making their way on the south side, holding angles against the rock. But, of course, you cannot forget Clippers, and you cannot forget Aim Assist Euro. And, of course, Perry, Obelix, and ARS Baguette, who we're following along with, who are still very much involved in this fight and running into an engagement right here.
Yeah, again, the first knock is always great, but Obelix almost going to get knocked. Utilizes the dome, so won't have it for later, but they're still in a 3v2 situation with a few teams nearby. Now they have to be careful here, not get ticked by the zone. They're going to run on in. They're not getting shot from launch pad just yet, but they do have to be wary about it. They still have that duo on the right. They're going to play these rocks, which is a phenomenal place to play. Very safe from launch pad. Doing the damage, almost gets the crack. Unable to get the knock off of it. We're doing more damage, but nothing to come from it. So take a look at this, 3 teams or even 4 teams there in the launch pad area. Playing that height where Awesome, Manda, Carlotes, Samamo, they're in a great position. Mr. Profin, oh, that's a nice rat spot, really, truly is. It's even going to be in that 1 zone. But it's going to be tough. Everyone just on that northern end. Where is TXC? Have they? Oh.
They're on the height of the launch pad.
Thank
here.
you. Thanks to the observers here. They're still on the height here, so they got a lot to look down on, but they got a far distance to go. 10 squads. They made the top 10. Everybody that makes the top 10 gets 2 placement points at least. Great place to be. But what are they going to do? Getting into this zone late could be an issue for a team like this.
All right, TXC. What do you do here if you're TXC? I love that kind of high ground that they're looking at just behind where Finn is facing now. But they've got to rotate, and that's the thing. You've got angles on everyone, but you can't wait too long before you move. Ton of KP that's potentially passing you by, but when you prioritize getting rid of the KP and then moving into the circle, it seems like that question is going to be forced upon them right now as round 4 is ending. And that height from Launchpad is going to eventually be out of the zone. ARS Baguette have moved inside on a really nice rock, and now I would almost say that a Skyward Dive, as you can see, was the choice from TXC. But ARS Baguette are in a decent position to kind of fight their way through. And if they can win this skirmish here, we'll be looking very pretty on the high ground, facing down. Trying to get an EMP off.
Not gonna be good. No, they got pinched. ARS Baguette in a bad situation. They haven't been able to utilize their ultimates before really going down. Obelix is going to use it, but he's going to actually end up going down a storm by the looks of it. Obelix not being able to do much. Taylor picking up the placement points. I love this play from Taylor. Taylor down to 1 HP. Can he find a safe position to play without getting looked at? He goes for the tree. It's good for now. Nobody's taking a look at him. This is great. Sarah Sutcliffe, same thing on the Valkyrie, trying to play life. Popping that med kit. Raymond is down. I don't think she's going to be able to get that revive. Biohazard still alive. Cheeky still alive. Kozu still alive, and over here by the gravity cannon, there's just too much fighting. Pizza Lovers has been here the whole entirety of it, and they get pushed down from it. Taylor trying to steal some kills, almost picks up a kill point, but he's got a lot next to him. You got to realize he doesn't have any health heals, so he'll never be able to get to full HP unless he gets to loot a death box. Clippers coming down. Oh, yeah, Clippers taking Taylor down, so that's 7th place for them. Clippers, though, they needed this. We know Clippers are so capable, and they're showing it right now.
9th to 7th. It's not a bad spot for them, but 7th is what they want. Clippers finally with 3. PPM. Talk about a laser beam.
Yep.
That thing is from the future right there. Peril, beautiful shots. Fancy, Eno Paulino on PPM. Top 5. They will have to go against Aim Assist Euro, Awesome Manda, Simamos, Carlotes. They're holding the final spot, and they're holding maybe the best spot there. But above them all, are Clippers. And this is going to bode like a little bit of trouble if Fonzie cannot find enough time to get that interception pylon up. Doesn't feel like there's any ultimate accelerants available. Otherwise, probably would have had it. And that's going to be something very, very important here in this final circle as it all starts to close. And Clippers, Chaika, have many in their sights.
They're doing great to push people off of them, but Manda, I think, has them in their sights. Clippers gonna be in a 3v3 there soon. PPM, though, trying to stay alive. Zone's coming in. Zone does a lot of damage. You gotta get into that zone. Very good knock. Can we pop a battery before we end up going down? This rock is perfect, LOS, but are we gonna get shot from behind? We're getting pushed.
Oh my God.
Are we gonna be able to pull this off? No! Last second! Wasn't able to do it. Okay, we've got Manda alive. We've got Cheeky Classic alive, and I think we've got Clippers fully alive and well. We've got the PK taking a stare down on Carlotes right underneath Jazz, going to full HP. They might end up pushing this. We're going to pop the Seer scan ability soon. I think I heard a little bit of spamming. You know how people spam when their ability is actually off? Well, they're going to actually go for Cheeky Classic. They're going to make sure they got the second place and the PK shots. The R301, they're coming in, and now it's Clippers against Aim Assist Euro. 3v3 situation. Triple red armor against double red and a purple. Who will win this one out?
No, I mean, clearly the damage is being done already. Aim Assist Euro have already broken 2 shields. Jazz is in trouble, but shield swaps are there. Jazz gets it. But the damage is just being done, and I don't know if they're going to be able to get through. Samamo is just reaming, and Jazz now getting pushed by 2, uses the bubble to make it a 3. And this is actually nice. They can continue the rotation. It's a do-si-do, and it's actually working in the favor of Clippers. They're going to have a shield swap here. Who's going to get it, though? Z-Stereo doesn't have enough health to pull it off. And a med kit. Oh, just trying to buy some time. Cheka gets the information with the micro drones, and it's going to be 3 still. No, 2 alive there, and that is the problem. If they can't get a med kit or any big meds off, it is looking like it is going to go the way of Aim Assist Euro and a Mozambique in the hands of Carlotes, trying to round the corner. Biding his time. No one wants to make a move. Missile Swarm. Gibraltar Bubble. He's looking for maybe a swap. He grabs the banner first. Oh, Jazz are just getting in a worse and worse position. I feel like it is going the way of Aim Assist Euro just because of the health advantage. Can a miracle happen from the side of Clippers?
I'm not sure about that. Cheka and Jazz aren't able to heal. Jazz gets the full medkit off. Cheka gets the full medkit off. That's going to be great, but Carlotes has hammer point Mozambique. If he hits one shot on Flesh, this could be it. Carlotes pinching them into a corner. Jazz unable to do anything. Can we get that knock? Yes, we do. Now it's Cheka in a 1v2 situation. He's using that shield very efficiently, but Samamo coming in. Can they do it? Aim Assist Euro is the champion. I think this is their third win today. They are unstoppable.
Aim Assist Euro are on fire. From Meta's past, the Wraith, Bloodhound, and Gibraltar say to each other, want to try this one more time. And it works out. Like the old days, those 3 on top of the lobby. And Aim Assist Euro, not for once, not for twice, but for 3 times over the course of the day, are your champions. And in Game 5-2, that should, in all sense of the word, secure them a first-place finish in our grand finals. But of course, it's not over. There's still one more game left to be played. But with 3 wins, we've really not seen many teams come back from that.
But we've still yet to see who ends up getting the second place, because first place is almost, you know, it's better than second place, but second place is almost as good, right? They still get those PS5s. We still got a lot to see. We got to see how close this second place is. The leaderboards were super close between first and sixth place, or even it's 6th to 8th as well. So Deanne doing a great job here, but we still got a lot to see, a lot to unfold. A lot of our good teams ended up getting high placements in that situation. I don't know if anyone had a truly just a bad or unfortunate game. ARS Baguette even had a good game there. PPM, they did exceptionally well. This was a really nice push by them to end up getting that kill there, but getting shot in the back was really unfortunate for Eno. Maddie, the zone coming in. It was hard. You get the knock here, but that battery just didn't come off in time. Clippers playing that high ground, doing a great job holding this. It's nice to see Z-Stereo playing that Watson, making sure that they can maintain this high ground. We know we've seen them play really well throughout our qualifiers. Nice to see them have a good game. And this was one of our closest fights, I would say, of the day. Long and close fight. 2 really good teams, but Aim Assist Euro just outputting more damage. Yeah, just outputting way more.
Just was hitting the shots way more. I mean, that was really the danger from the very, very beginning of these fights. Just the damage Samamo was doing, and I think that's what Aim Assist Euro is really counting on. And you forget the Wraith, right? You know, you don't talk about Wraith, you think of these other legends that have been brought in, even Seer, but when you consider hitbox size, that's a big part of these 1v1 fights. Wraith has still one of the smallest and hardest to hit hitboxes in the entire game, and that is one of the things that made her a very good legend, on top of all of her utility, on top of the fact that she had immunity frames, the fact that she is a hard target to hit, and very, very wiry I would say, makes it very easy for her to be in situations like that and succeed. Add the skill and the aim of Samamo, and it's a wrap on that one as they grab 4 kills to Samamo's name, 2 to Carlotes, and 2 assists to the awesome Monda. That'll be 6 kills on top of their 12-point win, so 18 points for Aim Assist Euro.
That is incredible, and like you said, it might cement their win. I think it does. And, you know, you don't need the highest shot accuracy. Asamanda didn't get that 10% threshold that we normally see and up, but everyone on this team is exceptionally good. Like,
Yeah.
Manda was the highest amount of damage earlier and now the lowest. So you know that they can rely on each other, and that's what they're doing, and that's how they can get these 3 wins in our grand finals. Truly incredible by this team.
Well, here it is. Our leaderboards. Aim Assist Euro are now 23 points out in front in first place. But look at second through 7th. It's very, very close. Clippers did a good job getting themselves into the 8th place position. They would need a bit of a miracle to come into 2nd place. Literally vibing, doing everything they need to do to stay involved, and especially coming 3rd in terms of overall kills, 25. Pizza Lovers the only team ahead of them in 26.
Viper Squadron 48, so 6-point difference. It's not too bad, but the point tally is going to be close. We really got to keep an eye on these top 6, top 7 teams. As you said, ARS Bagat, they made the biggest comeback that they could, and they have 1 game to make it even further. And here we have Red Fade, Savages, Koopy. They're maintaining, you know, top 15, and that's really important. They could make it to that top 10 threshold. They can just get a few more points.
Yeah, 16, 8 through 16 gets about $300, so that's like that next threshold. Top 8 is really where, 9 through 16, excuse me, but top 8 is really where you get into a different range of money. You double that 300 to 600, so that's what these teams are fighting for. It's going to be exciting. We got 1 game left, girl. Feel like, you know, take a breath, relax. What a tournament. I mean, this is 1 game to kind of cap it all off, to showcase what we've done here in the Masters circuit. To begin with, I think we've just seen so many teams grow, right, and change and I think develop over the course of these last 2 months within the PlayStation Tournaments ecosystem. But I think we've also really started to create stars and names that we're familiar with, and players that not only are able to be in a great position right now, but that we want to see come back again.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There was enough time with 4 qualifiers up until this event to see them grow within this ecosystem, and for them to just compete against each other every second week and to see how they can play today. I feel like a lot of teams have gotten better over time. They have kind of formatted and really solidified their team comps and their team play, and they figured out who they wanted to play with, because sometimes we've seen some team swaps or some people change out their teams, but for now they're doing incredibly well, and maybe we'll see them in the future. Maybe we'll see some more team swaps in the next Master Circuit. Who knows, right? So that's going to be exciting. We can see everyone grow and get better in a competitive environment like this, which is amazing.
Very, very amazing, and congrats to them. And again, we have Game 6 coming up in just a moment. How are we doing in the chat? How's everybody feeling? Who you got taking game number 6? Not about who's going to win it all, but it's kind of the same thing. If you have Clippers or you have teams like Literally Vibing, you have, you know, some of these squads, ARS, Baguette, you know, saying they're going to win might mean they're going to get a PS5 in their hands, and then I'm going to have to figure out how I can go be friends with them so I can go over and play PS5 when I'm in Europe. I'll fly to Europe just to play PS5, okay? I will do it. Don't test me, ARS Baguette. TXC, also a team that has kind of had a couple of good performances. I think they're sitting at around 40 to 45 points. 54 is that 2nd place threshold, which still gives you PS5. So it's really anybody's chance.
And hey, Randy, you won't actually have to fly to Europe, because we do have the NA grand
That's right.
finals later
That's
on
coming
today.
up.
So stay tuned, folks, if you're watching here today. We've got the NA grand finals. We have 6 more PS5s after this tournament to give away later on to our top 2 performing teams as well. So you don't have to go too far, Rain Day. You don't have to go too far. You don't need that 13-hour flight or however long it takes to get there. But it's going to be an exciting day. And let's take a look. Let's see if people have changed up their comps on the last game. We know there are 10 teams, bottom 10, that might feel pressured to try and make that 8th place to double their prize. We've got a Loba, so Ferreira changing from Pathfinder to Loba, maybe to increase the amount of loot that they get. We still see Bucket on Pathfinder. We've got a Mad Maggie, ARS Baguette, on Mad Maggie.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, this will be interesting, won't it?
It will. I don't have much experience with Mad Maggie, but I know a lot of people find her like a hit or miss. You could use her, get a lot of kills. It's tough to change your team comp, your composition when you're in that top 5 to top 6 mark. Do they really feel so much pressure as they feel like they have to change their legends? I'm not 100% sure what the plan is there, but we will see it come through.
And let's be honest, this team has won a lot, and they have won every single tournament, so they've gotten over $2,400 in prizing as a squad.
Yep.
Obviously, they want to get as high as they possibly can, but they look like they're sitting pretty comfortably in the top 8. And it really doesn't change much until 3, 4, or 2nd. And so maybe they're going, hey, let's just, if we finish where we are now, 5th through 8th, we're basically exactly like winning another tournament, just like we did before. We got 3,000 over the course of the Master Circuit. That's pretty good. Another version is, what if we have a game that changes the pace, throws people off, and we bump ourselves up to that 15. We bump ourselves up to that 2nd place, that 1,200. We get those PS4s. I know that you make a move like that, not because you're worried, but because you're after something. You want to go ahead and grab that PS5. And I certainly hope they can all do it.
This is a really interesting drop. Take a look at this. TXT is actually in Down Beast. They're normally in Launchpad or Fish Farms.
Wow.
Now they're in Down Beast. I'm not sure who they're after. I'm not sure what they're after. Maybe they felt like a West zone pull was coming, so they wanted to land on the west side. They really do change up their drop spot a lot. Maybe they're looking to kill some duos. Maybe they saw some duo trails. And I know this squad is very comfortable in changing wherever they land. They are very efficient and they have that adaptability, not like a lot of other squads. Sometimes we see teams only land in that one spot, kind of like ARS Baguette or Clippers. You know, you constantly see them, but they've been landing between Launchpad, Fish Farms, and now Down Beast. Very interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't really, I don't know if they're like triangulating the map or something. I mean, that's like 3 spots that not quite connected.
Nope.
But they're doing it. And maybe lost at sea, trying to figure out where they are. And we'll find out if the Down Beast was ultimately where they wanted to arrive at. I did see them fighting earlier on. I'm not sure if they got a kill from it. Pizza Lovers certainly did. This is actually very important. This is a battle it's going to mean a lot. TXT are only 3 points ahead of Pizza Lovers with 45. Pizza Lovers 42 respectively. So 3 kills here. Already won. Closes that gap. A full squad wide puts them at completely even. And then, of course, literally Vibing is the team that the rest of those 6 teams down below are hoping goes out early. Does not have a good game, as they are sitting right now with a PS5 in their hands.
Yeah, so we've got our 6th place team fighting our 1st place team. Our 1st place team, I don't think they mind very much, but our 6th place team, they got to do their absolute best. I think they have a disconnect. They must have a disconnect. Hopefully we can get that reconnect later on. But Amethyst Euro didn't seem like they wanted a piece of that. They're playing for another win. They want to win another game. And that's truly what everybody in this lobby on the top of the leaderboard want, right? Because if your first place team continue to get 6 to 10 kills and get that first place, then it makes it kind of a little bit less weight on your shoulders. You don't have to make up for the fact. Now, if our top 2 or top 3 squads died off, then it's wide open, and the leaderboard shifts tremendously. So they're going to get a good spot in zone. Take a look at that. They're actually going for the Prowlers. I'm not sure why. It never ends on the Prowlers, but it could. It could end. There's a few places it could end. It could end checkpoint, south of it, north of it. Could end on the Cascade Falls side, which maybe what they're thinking. I don't know if they were able to scan because they were in that 3v3 fight. Not sure if they were able to scan before they rotated, so who knows where they think the zone will end. Scoobs, though. They're a full squad. Color Bucket, not on the best armor. They're figuring this out, but they might run into a couple teams over here on this side of the map. Their rotation.
Scan this area.
Valkyrie, getting some pings through. They want to play the buildings. They want to play a safe spot. Not a bad place to play. Still 16 squads remaining. Everyone taking this super serious. Color Bucket. It's hard for Color Bucket. Pathfinder, one of the biggest one of the biggest robots.
One of the refrigerators.
refrigerators in the game, and with
He's
the
a
white
dangerous
armor at
refrigerator.
that. With the white armor though, ooh, that's just tough. Oh no, Assassin going up and getting taken down by, that's Perry. KTTV Perry. Make sure you go check him out. Red Fade not looking so good. Gonna go for this Valkyrie. They want to gain these placement positions as much as they can. Maybe you can come back later on and grab that banner, but for now, we fly into the sky and we live for another day.
And that is sometimes how you have to do it with Valkyrie. You gotta take flight, like you're dropping off a loved one at the airport, and you're waving them goodbye, and you have that moment of sadness where, you know, you will be apart for a while. You know, there's a journey to come and a time to come before you are back together. Well, it's like a Valkyrie leaving her teammates behind, saying, I will see you again one day. Maybe after I grab your banner, maybe in the next map, but there is no next map. This is game 6. It is all on the line. Oh, and TXC is a team that needs to stay alive here. Finn cannot go down. Who are they fighting? Oh my God, Clippers, another team that is in a similar position, absolutely needing the win. These are two teams who are putting it all on the table, need kills. Clippers 30. They certainly need kills. They are already 15 points behind TXC. For them to get second place and get a PS5, they'd have to have a 25-point game just right now at the start of the lobby, assuming no one else gains points. So a very tall task might be impossible, but they could certainly ruin it for TXC with a good fight there.
Yeah, TXC in 4th place compared to Clippers in 8th. So wouldn't be good for them to fight. And that's what you want to do if you're a top 4, top 5 squad. You want to just stay alive, really, truly. You want to hope that nobody gets a 25 bomb, as you're talking about. And it's hard to get a game like that. But for ARS Baguette, they've been the team to prove that you can get these big games. And they're here to compete as well, tied with TXC. Actually, 50 damage. Almost going for the crack, but Taylor not quite connecting every single shot. They do have the high ground. They do have the angles. But are they going to push through? Are they going to fall down? Are they going to give up their position? And Perry wants to. They're going to give up their position. They're running forward, right? They are playing Mad Maggie. No more crypto. No more defensiveness. No more recovering banners. We're going to go full on forward. Dialogue stick. What do you call them?
Analog
stick.
Stick. The dialogue stick. Begin dialogue now. Dialogue forward. Dialogue press in. Dialogue circle. All right.
I wanted to say W key, but we can't do that here.
That's right. I feel like those things transcend, though, you know? I wonder what they do say. PlayStation, community, let us know. What's your version of W key that's accepted within the controller community? And we want to know. We want to bring it to the broadcast. And we appreciate everybody hanging out as well throughout all of this. We have had a really great journey here in the Master Circuit. Myself, Rainday, and Girl have enjoyed our time tremendously. And, you know, we're excited for it. We've got our August 24th dropping in show to recap this, kind of preview what's next, talk to some of our stars here. Definitely we'll have some stories after this one, that is for sure. Expect to hopefully hear from Amesis Euro if we can. But, so it is pulling towards north of checkpoint, or at checkpoint, on the northern side of that circle. And we already have a few teams who have made their way around there. We've got, I think, Scoobs and, you know, TXC have found a way to be right there. Are they going to be contesting each other? That's a good question. As our Rampage kicks us off to a nice little rave beat there.
Well, checkpoint is where everyone wants to be. Everyone going for that rotation. Amesis Euro, they didn't get the best spot just yet, but hey, they might be getting a few kills or getting killed here soon. Gotta heal up. Color Bucket Company nearby. Carlota's taking damage as well, and they're gonna opt for the Wraith Portal out. They do not want any of this. Bangalore ult coming down, Carlotes is fragged. They want to try and get out. Hopefully they don't get pinched out here in the open. Be a bad spot to get caught at because now they don't have a dome. They don't have a Wraith Portal left. They're just walking. Carlota's running away in the back. They're gonna survive this for now, as everybody is playing it safe, except for this one squad. Perry throws his ultimate down. Oblix getting full health. Oblix also not on Gibraltar, keep that in mind. This is a very aggressive squad, and they're up against the Clippers here, which is in our top 8 team as well.
And the Mad Maggie ultimate, the Wrecking Ball has already been sent out. They'll gain extra movement speed if they run over those pads. As you can see them on the ground, those blue pads right there, they just did it. Really underrated movement for an entire team. But look at this, they are gatekeeping TXC and ARS Baguette. Oh my God, 2 teams that are fighting for PS5s right now. Literally tied in points.
Taylor's got to heal.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. That's unfortunate. Could he have not have healed? Oh no, he had to run, right? He was getting chased. He's just gonna die off into the storm. They could still go back around and get him. He did die very far away from TXC. Clippers are gonna fly out. I don't think they're gonna get banner camped in zone, but how are they gonna get back around? ARS Baguette, take a look at this. They're playing super aggressive. Now how are they gonna go back? Gonna go back in the storm. Clippers is flying right over.
And also maybe a huge part of the problem here is the fact that they do not have the crypto now, which is unfortunate considering the fact that that would have been the thing that could get, finally, Kayla back into the squad with pretty easy drone. Now ARS Baguette forced to run. They may just try and do it. How much do they care about Taylor? That's the question. And what does TXC think about whether they're going to see ARS Baguette there?
So they care a lot about Taylor. Without Taylor, there ain't no ARS Baguette, all right? So they're going to walk on in. Now, that's the question. You were asking it, and now we're about to find out how much does TXC care about ARS Baguette
they're
as
landing.
They fly right
They
down
saw
onto them.
them.
There is a 3v2 situation. They're not even going to be able to pull off medkits, but are they going to be able to get angles on Finn? They might be able to if they can take down Finn. This is going to be huge, but now they're in the air. Perry popping that medkit. Is he going to get the medkit off? Obelix very low. He's got to heal. If he doesn't heal, this is going to be an ending for both of these
Oh!
teams. Finn goes down, but he's not going to have
way!
enough time to heal. Perry, it's really all up to you, buddy.
Oh my
Obelix
God.
goes down. We get the shield battery. It's a 1v2. The couple, Raymond, Sarah, they're coming in. The ultimate's going to go off. He's going to have to hit every
Actually
single shot
legit?
here. Yes!
I can't believe it.
It's crazy, Sarah. What are you going to do? Are you going to go for the revive on Finn? Are you going to get the revive on Finn? The spam pings are coming
Got it.
through. Finn
Got it.
gets up, but it
Got
is
it.
a 1v2. They're very low. Sarah getting
Oh my God, she got the
hit.
revive.
She does get
That
the
is
missile
massive.
off.
Finn's going to get it.
Finn gets the med kit off. Now she's going to go back for Raymond. This is
Oh
really
my
hard for Perry. He might actually go for the revive here. There's 36 seconds until zone 3 closes in, and everybody's going to die in here if they fight for too long. Perry has to go for the revive, and they have to heal and get in. They've got 25 seconds. It's very important. Nobody has Valk ult in this situation.
Oh my goodness. They're going to try to do their best, and now it is Perry. What a moment with the Wrecking Ball to 1v1 Raymond like that. You cannot blame Raymond. Getting hit with an ultimate, that's going to throw you off, especially something like that in terms of the duel. But Perry taking basically no damage. That was the big one. Sarah pulling off heroics of her own to get Finn alive and then go get Raymond back and make it out. But have they bitten off more than they can chew? Here's the Maggie ultimate with the speed boost. They're going to have to leave Obelix. Is Perry going to make it? I think he's not. Oh my God. I don't know if we had to switch there or if that was the switch, but that might have just been the end of ARS Baguette. That would certainly mean TXE are in the position, if they made it out alive, to vie for that PS5.
Yeah, I'm going to need a confirmation on that. They were in 5th place, but take a look at this. Clippers in a 3v3 situation. They almost get the knock. Okay, it's a trade here, folks. 2v2 situation. Very nice
They've
PK
got
shot.
away.
The flatline hip fire. It's going crazy. It's all up to Chika left in
Chika.
a 1v1. Can we do it? We have a car.
Oh,
We're in a 1v1. Both of us don't
What?
have armor. The zone's coming in.
nice.
Chika's just playing.
stay crouched. Stay crouched, stay
He's playing
crouched.
his life. And look at that. That's Finn there on the right.
Oh my God.
It's actually
He-
2 teams. It's
Oh
2
my
teams.
goodness. He got it. That's Amos Euro. This is Clippers. They need a big game, but what can Finn do? Finn! Oh my God, TXC! They make it out alive. They take down Clippers. They go through ARS Baguette. And now Amos Euro is out. It could just only be literally vibing in their way from PS5s. They have 3 points already. That has put them tied or leveled with Viper Squadron at 48. The placement points now do not do enough for them. They need to get past 54 points. And Finn has no other teammates. Just to be alive, though, has to be enough. But look at that, Namka, Mr. Profin are right outside. It could be a very fun beginning to the story, but a very quick ending if Finn gets caught out here.
There is an enemy over here.
Oh, it's been rough. TXC deciding to go for the Valk ult on the duo could have cost them a huge amount. So it's really up to Finn. Profin sees Finn, I think. They're taking a look, I think. They're going to get some shots off, but no one near Finn for now. Finn's going to be safe, but still not in that zone. Dan and Miss Thorn, they're making their way in. Festi, Dave, and Eros, they're going to be on the high ground. Very cozy and comfy. Pizza lovers, they've got a building to themselves as well. And Finn figuring out where to go. I'm not sure if he's going to find a safe position. He's getting shot at. He's lost 50 HP, 60, 70. Popping a shield battery. 9 squads remaining. This could be it for TXC in our last and final game. Just a reminder, folks, TXC was in 4th place with 45 points, and 2nd place was literally vibing with 54 points. Have they made enough points? We're about to find out. Finn's got to do his absolute best to try and get that 2nd place mark, or even 1st.
While the hero story, the David versus the Goliath here, continues on for Finn. I want to point out Biohazard, Cheeky Classic, and Kozu. That team literally vibing we talked about, they are right above Finn. And they are in a great position for this final circle. It is going to take a lot for Finn to not only overcome the points he had to make up, but to somehow win a fight or stay alive while literally vibing does not. That is going to be the key. Also, pizza lovers, they are involved here. AXFF team, they were in 10th place. This could be the end for them. Could obviously surpass Clippers with only 4 points behind them, sitting at 25 and Clippers at 30, but let's keep in mind the stakes here. Literally vibing, leading the lobby right now, and still alive outside of Amesis Euro. They have PS5s. They will not be giving them up unless somebody goes and takes them out from on high. That's it. Literally vibing. Stay alive. They win this game. PS5s, $1,200. Theirs. Somebody's got to make a move. So far, literally vibing, just the ones doing the shooting here is Last Dave, doing his best to get Last Arrows alive.
Can literally vibing all die?
No, they're right there on that corner in that far left, above TXE Finn.
Okay.
Right above.
Right. Okay. So they're still in for now, but they do have to move. Finn is right underneath them. Okay, I see that. Got a few teams in this building underneath. Everyone's gonna have to make a move. Oh, it looks like literally vibing. Don't want to allow them to get the revive. They're doing great work, and Finn griefing from behind. This is not gonna be good. Biohazard's gonna have to heal up here.
Literally vibing. Oh, big kill from Biohazard. That's another KP, and it is a shield swap. Look at this. Literally vibing. Literally vibing. What a performance from them. They've pushed themselves into the second place position, and they have held on firmly. 2 more KP to their name. It was maybe the first of the game. The only thing pushing them forward was placement points. But now they feel the thrill of the hunt. And they are rounding the corner here. Cheeky Classic takes the buy one blade out, but now it's time for the L-Star to do its thing. Up into the drone. EMP on the way. Hello! Blackout. So much damage. Literally vibing, goes down. Was the sacrifice enough? Certainly should be. Kozu inside. No, hiding underneath. Playing their life, hoping to get the crypto back up, and maybe this is the safest play because Finn just went down. 4 squads left. I think unless pizza lovers are alive and can do something crazy, and yes, some of pizza lovers are alive. Aqua is alive. It should be literally vibing, taking home that PS5, girl.
It really should be. They've got a couple kills. Getting a thirst. Very nice. Coming in from them. Maddie going down. But look at this. Aqua doing his thing with the Volt. It's going to do a massive amount of damage. And he has 1 thermite. If he can get that to hit all 3 of them, this could be the biggest clutch of his life. 4 squads remaining. Can he kill the whole team underneath him? This is really important. Oh no, he gets shot from behind.
Looking very difficult. Oh my god, Kozu. I mean, that's half health. I didn't know you could have half health in this game, but that certainly is it. Literally vibing.
No, Aqua down.
Looking to close this one out. They have played so well over the course of the day. It is Mr. Profit and Mr. Namka. They are done with pleasantries and titles for now, though. Literally vibing. You know what they want to do? They just want to literally vibe, not worry about any of this. Shield battery up for Kozu, but it just may not happen. Mr. Profin, Mr. Namka, trying to take away the win, but what won't they take away? The PS5s. That is certainly going to literally vibing, and it's We Don't Play trying to finish off the last man standing. Eno Palino. What a performance, what an end to our finals here for our PlayStation tournaments. We Don't Play is your champion in Game 6, but Amesis Euro will take it all, and literally vibing will come in second, each getting PS5s.
Amazing tournament today in the Masters Circuit for Apex Legends, the PlayStation Masters Circuit. It was a great series. It was a great run. So many good teams vying for that second place up until in the very end. We see our 4th place teams fighting our 8th place teams, and it was just really down to the wire. But it's hard when you see a couple of our biggest contenders fight in that storm, in that zone 2. They're tanking damage, and we saw about 4 people died to the zone at
Yeah.
least, and that's going to be a tough one to swallow. They're going to be like, why did you land on us? Why didn't you just go to zone and gatekeep us? You know, give us a little bit of a chance instead of killing us both. But hey, there are a lot of good contenders here, and I'm super excited to see them grow.
What a great performance across every team here today and throughout the Masters circuit. Just recapping and highlighting Game 6, it was drama of the highest order unfolding in front of our eyes. We knew that there were PS5s on the line. If that doesn't get you going, I don't know what else will. And it certainly did for our teams here. ARS Baguette and this fight with TXC got to be one of my favorite moments of the tournament. Look at this. Perry takes maybe half, takes 0 bullets, 0 damage.
Yep.
Amazing trade there.
It's rough that they had a bad start. Let's just say that. They had a slow start. Don't know what it was. Don't know what was preventing them in the beginning. But, hey, the Clippers taking advantage of that. Cheka winning his 1v1, but then losing that third party to Finn. Finn picked up a significant amount of placement for his team. So, excited to see what that shows on the leaderboard for Rising as well. Literally vibing. They did great. They had an exceptional day. Now, we haven't seen them in, you know, our top 2 often, but we knew that they were capable. They've been strong throughout the series, and I think they had a little bit of a team comp as well, change as well. So Biohazard's going to be really happy about that one.
You know, big moment for We Don't Play. I think they jumped from 9th into a whole new category of Ash, because they had 7 kills at the very least that I saw, plus a 12 point. That's 19 points. Look at this. 16. Oh my God, that's a 28-point game.
Oh my God.
Wait, that puts them to 54 points. They might have jumped into like 3rd.
3rd? Yeah, wow.
I mean,
and that's why you never give up that last game.
Oh,
it just does so
God.
much for you, and they don't play. I really like their team name, and they're proving themselves here in the Master Circuit.
Either way, they tripled their money, right? Because going from 9th, which is 300, they're going to be 3rd or 4th. I can't imagine them not being 3rd or 4th. That's 975. They almost, they were more than triple their money. 325 per player. That is awesome stuff. What a shout out. And I got to say, Rom, XO Plays, Mr. Profit, Mr. Namka. Well, I salute you, good sirs. Congratulations on that win right there. That was nice to see. And at the end of the day, our bottom 11 through 18, really not the same in terms of our slay days, where top 10 is where you want to be and everything below wasn't quite what you wanted. Here, everyone's getting paid. So finding themselves in a decent category, 9 through 16, getting $300 per team. 17th and 18th, they're going to get at least $150 per team, and that's pretty cool, especially since they're splitting it right now. It looks like within 2 players, so a little 75 each.
They don't have an org quite yet that they have to split their cut
they're
with.
5th. Look.
Oh no, that's just 1
point.
Okay, yeah, that's $125
wow.
dollar difference and 1 point. Wow. And 5th and 6th actually tied with 54. It was an incredible run there at the end, because what was it? 2nd place was 54 just before this game?
Yeah, 2nd place
wow,
was 54.
everyone got a lot of points. This was a hectic end game for them, but Aim Assist Euro taking that win, literally vibing, doing their best, keep making sure that they got those PS5s at the end, staying alive to the very last second. Viper Squadron had an unfortunate game, but still managed to make that 3rd place.
Yeah, and really good stuff from TXC. You can tell that that fight didn't work out, but the heroics from Finn, that last kill against Aim Assist Euro, I believe it might have been Mondo, found that point to be enough. Plus the survival as well, kind of forcing in, literally vibing to be aggressive, kind of solo ratting, griefing a little bit. That ended up being the difference for TXC to push themselves outside of 6th place, because 2 points less, they're literally like 7th, 6th place. Unbelievable.
And ARS Baguette, they were falling behind, but they managed to make that top 8 as well. So congratulations to them for making it to that at least, so 200 per player. Clippers making our top 10. AXFF making our top 10. They had a good position there at the end, but unfortunately they had to drop down. But
yeah,
incredible from all of these teams, and thank you to everyone for playing here today.
Thank you very much, and let's look at what's upcoming, because it isn't over. We've got a grand final starting in an hour and a half, so make sure you are here, right here, ready for it. North America gets their turn at their Apex Legends Masters Circuit. That's coming up at 2 p.m. Pacific Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So make sure you are staying tuned. August 12th, we got our 9 a.m. start for our Fight Night Invitational, Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate. And then Tekken 7 Fight Night is on August 19th, just 7 days after that, both at 9 a.m. All on compete.playstation.com. You can find the information not only to be involved, to sign up, to win prizes, and to engage in the PlayStation Tournaments ecosystem. What a journey it has been, girl. Final words for you in terms of our European Master Circuit.
Oh, thank you to PlayStation for having us. Thank you to the chat for watching. This has been an amazing series altogether from June all the way up until now. Hope to see more of these Master Circuits in the future, and hope to see the PlayStation competitive scene to grow. I know that they've done a great job, and everyone's done a great job signing up, competing in these qualifiers, coming in when they can. So great thanks to these players for putting on a show for all of us at home. It's been a pleasure to be here, Rain Day.
Yeah, thank you so much, girl. You have been great. Thank you to our players, our staff, our producers, our production team, ESL, PlayStation, everyone putting this on. We couldn't have done it without you. We're so glad we got to put this on for the last couple of months. We've got North America coming up soon. As always, never give up, never stop gaming. We'll see you next time.